good morning, and good afternoon. Welcome to Lapeef-ING Sundays. Shout out to the chat. Make sure y'all smash the like button. Go ahead, get it out the way. Shout out to the Green Gang. Green Gang in the building. Go ahead and put them ones in the chat for the Green Gang. We got a stupendous panel here, but first let me introduce myself.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
I will be your fill-in host for today as JR is unavailable. Shout out to the guests. We got Simply Indy in the building. We got Jay. You all know who it is. Hey, Jay, a story to tell.
It's good.
The beautiful, the incomparable, the unattainable. Mommy Three Loves is in the building. Shout out to the natural hair. We got the beautiful, the wise, the cunning Miss Taken in the building. How you doing, sis? And last but definitely not least, we got the triple dipple OG, aka Mr. Lot of them ho, aka Mr. Leave them at the restaurant, aka you want to know how to Dougie. We got Hink, the basement in the building. What's happening with you?
What's going on, Dr. Mike Dougie? Good peoples. How y'all doing today?
Hey, everything's everything. Mental check as usual. Mental health check. How has y'all week going? And how y'all doing today?
Doing pretty good, man. No complaints, man. It's a good Sunday.
All right. Hopefully y'all went to church and, gave your money to the Lord, whatever you had to do, right? But we here today and we're going to talk about it.
I went to early service.
Okay. You get Jesus 10%?
Yeah, I gave him 20 this time.
Right.
I missed my other 10 the last Sunday. So.
All right. How you doing, Andy? How you doing?
I just got back from Afrotech this last week. So this whole weekend has been like catching up on sleep, laundry. It was like amazing though to go to like a large Black tech conference and see so many of us that are like gifted,
Okay. What city is that in?
Austin. It was in Austin this year.
Okay. Well, shout out to y'all again. Let's go ahead and pay the bills, man. Y'all know what it is. Welcome to the greatest network on the planet, the Lapeef Network. Shout out to the, coffee coming back on me. Shout out to the sponsors, Teach Hanley. Make sure you guys click the link for some of the best skincare on the planet. By using the link here on Lapeef Network, you do get 30% off your first box plus a free gift. Feel the Teach. The link will be in the description of every single video. If you haven't already, stop being stingy. Smash the like button. It don't cost you nothing. And also, if you're on any device, that's your MacBook, iPad, Chromebook, iPhone, or Android device, and you look under this screen and that subscription button is still red, hey, me and you got a problem, Joe. Hit the subscribe button. It don't cost you nothing. Support the great content on this network. And y'all know what it is. Subscribe to the Lapeef Network. Thanks everybody for the donations, the super chats, the cash apps, but a like is most appreciated as well, right? So let's get to it. We got a series of questions we're going to go through, and this is a safe space, ladies and gentlemen. It's totally safe. You're free here to talk as you see fit. We're going to cover these topics and get into some good conversation today. So let me pull the first topic up.
Rick, you said that. They have no idea what you're talking about. Shout out to Roots.
Hey, man, I'm just here to make you think. That's all. I'm just here to make you think. It's not my job to force you, right? Ladies, I would like to hear from you first. You three beautiful things, right? Would you agree most women prioritize love and most men prioritize money? Simply Indy, what's your take?
I think back in the day, yes, it used to be that way, like traditionally, but I think with this whole like feminist and like women empowerment movement, I think that it's kind of actually changed. I think that women are starting to like not prioritize love. They're starting to prioritize vanity, money, men with money, and things like that. And I also think that a lot of men are starting to prioritize not just money, but themselves. I think we're starting to open up like conversations where men are actually starting to be able to like look at themselves and say that I'm more than just a pocketbook or what I can provide.
It's strange that you said pocketbook for a man.
Why is that strange?
Because men are you usually carry wallets.
Oh yeah, my papa called it a pocketbook growing up. So
Rickety is 2022. I don't know, though.
I'm just saying, my nurses and just saying. Mommy Three Loves, what you got on it, sis?
I'm glad that it said most and not all. I kind of agree with Simply on a lot of things that she said. A lot of women, they prioritize. How can I say this? I don't want to be rude. Okay, so
Be rude, please. Be very rude.
I feel like I had a good Sunday service, and I'm just trying to change. And so I feel like a lot of women need to understand that they can't do both. Because especially if they want a man, if they want like to be in a marriage and a relationship, because you have a lot of women that's out here making money, and they're out here getting it, they're getting the bag and this and that, and they kind of lose focus on what's important. You got a lot of women out here that just not lovable. I mean, they're not nurturing. They're not just none of those things. Like you got women out here that don't even want to hug a man. Like they don't want to be touched. Like don't touch me. Don't this and that. But I feel like most women, you have a lot of women that still do those things. That still like affectionate, like being affectionate or however you say it. I'm so country, y'all. I can't even say the word. But man, it's hard to answer that. I must say, you have a lot of women that want love, but you got a lot of women out here like putting on a facade, like they're so hard and they're just so independent and they're just so this and that, and it makes it hard for a man to even show those things. So I don't know. That's tricky. But most women do still want that love and want affection. But men, they most definitely love the money more than anything, because a lot of men feel like money is power. They feel like that what makes them feel like a man, that they make this certain amount of money. They feel like that, that is needed. Most men love to provide. They love to do those things. So, yeah, that's my take. I want to hear from other people because that's a tricky one for me.
All right, thanks so much, Miss Taken. What do you think?
I think there's been a huge shift. I think many women, I think like the younger generation, I think if you look at generational wise, I think money has been a priority or is the priority for both. And I think it goes like, I think women prioritize, well, the younger generation prioritizing money. And then I think the love comes second. And I think men prioritize money and then the sex comes second. Or actually it could, I mean, in my opinion, for men, it could probably go either way. I think sex and money is probably up there because sometimes the money gives access to the sex. Or sometimes, men lose all their money over sex, so I don't really know, how that would work for men in terms of that specific order. But I think women are prioritizing money over love. But I think when they do that, we're getting things out of order. So they're not getting the results that they want.
Okay. All right. right, bear with me, guys. My computer is tripping. Give me a couple of seconds. Okay. Oh, my bad, y'all. God dang, it was a video that went with that. Hold on. Give me a second. We'll go ahead and play it back, and then let's reassess. How about that? Where is it at? Here we go.
I don't want to represent people, misrepresent men. I'm just speaking from my angle.
Okay.
I'm not speaking for all men.
Got it.
But from my perspective, I feel that a lot of men don't look at marriage like it's gonna last the whole time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is when they're meeting somebody or they're dating in their dating phase and getting to know people or whatever, I feel like a lot of men don't go out with that purpose. It means a soulmate. I feel like they go out on a mission to catch a Therefore, as we date and go through it, I feel that we don't take time to understand the person until we've already had relations and we're a little bit deeper. Deeper don't got to be too far, right? Let's just say 3 months, and you spend a night with each other here and there, that type of deal, just to kind of like illustrate where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
So, but even then, I feel that people in our African American culture get counseling when shit's bad. I don't think they do it in the preparatory stage of research. I think we do it in a stage of failure or misdirection, meaning we're lost. We too caught up in a toxic thing, but we know that shit's not okay. I'm not okay, and I could testify for that. I've been like this. Me all the way. I need help.
Yeah,
and I've went to people said the same thing.
Okay. Did you guys get that? Did you guys get the? So let's reassess. Simply Indy, what is your take after seeing the video?
From being prior married, I definitely agree. I think that people just we don't look at things from my generation standpoint as like forever. Like when I went through my divorce process, I was torn up. Like, I'm like, this is a divorce. Like this, we went and made commitment before God, like, you know, like that this was going to last forever. And I think that he definitely was just like, oh, well, you know, like it was almost like a breakup. I'm like, this is not a breakup. We're in here with a judge. Like, you know, it's not easy. And I think that this generation is starting to kind of embrace like, okay, let's get help before things get messy or out of hand. But yeah, he was a little bit older than me, and he was like, I'm not going to therapy. I'm not doing that. I'm not like, I don't need therapy. We don't need a third person in our marriage. Like he was very that way. And so I will say like now the people that I have, like when I'm dating actively and stuff like that, it's a whole lot of like, we'll see how things go. And I'm very intentional. So I ask proper vetting questions now. Like, do you see yourself married? If your marriage were to start to fail, hypothetically, you know, would you be open to going to counseling? Because that's something to know in the beginning versus you get like 5 years down the line and you hit that 5-year itch and now y'all are having differences. And he's like, oh, I'm not going. So I definitely agree with what he said in the video.
Okay. Mommy 3, what you got?
Oh yeah, I agree with him. That video helped out a whole lot. The crazy part about it was the women in the video that was pretending to listen. And that is the crazy part about it. Like that, yeah. What? And see, that's where a lot of women mess up at. You pretending to understand the Black man. Everything he said, they did not take what resonated in that whole video. And it was so crazy because I'm looking at them like, that's some stuff that I'll say if I'm pretending to listen to him. And he was saying some real facts. And I feel like in most cases, that's why us Black women lose so much. And I really hate that. It's so crazy. I'm like, man, listening to that made me realize I wish I would have just stayed in my household with my kid's father. I wish that I knew these things that I knew now to at least work it out, to get, like Indy said, like to get those, you know, to get that help, to get therapy, to actually have someone. I wish I would have asked them, look, let's fix this. Let's see what we can do to fix this first. And it's so crazy that men really do look at, like, if a man was to choose between money and love, what would he choose? That's like the question that I would really love to ask black men. Like, okay, if your back was against the wall, will you choose? Would the money and you having this power make you happier? Because a lot of men say that hey, they can hire a maid to do half of the things, or they can do these things on their own.
Okay.
So will men really choose money instead of marriage?
Okay. Let's hold it right there. Jay, Hank, if it came down to it and you had to choose between real love and money, which one would you pick? What you got, Jay?
I would pick real love. I mean, the way I was raised and the way my life is set up, like I would want somebody to enjoy experiences with, you know, even if they was broke experiences, I would appreciate somebody to be there to enjoy those laughs with. You know what I mean? To experience all those things, you know, rather than be alone and have this pile of money and I'm sitting around by myself. Like that's not really a life worth living. When you sitting around looking at a pile of money, or you know, or you're leveraging your money, you know, for false experiences. So I would much rather have a person to experience it with.
Thank you. Before I move on, I want to address again. Y'all know I stay in the chat, right? Hold on. This is what I want to show y'all. And this where y'all be fucking up. You niggas. This where y'all be fucking up. Money all day. Can always find a woman regardless. You can find money regardless too.
Did you hear what I said?
Why is the assumption when it comes to niggas that the breakup is always some fucked up shit that the woman did? Like you above reproach. Nowhere in this conversation did we say that the breakup was behind some bullshit. We said if you had a choice between the two. And y'all wonder why y'all move the way y'all move and get the results y'all get. Right? Why is it that when black people, whenever we bring up a situation hypothetical, it's always to the negative? Why is that? Nowhere did in that question did we say it was because the woman did something or she was out of pocket. We said if your back was against the wall and you had to choose. We didn't give you any other options. But it's funny how y'all mind always go to some negative shit like the woman was out of pocket or did something weird. But I digress. Pink, real love. Honest to God, true real love. A woman that's down for you. Yo, ace. The one. She can't be shook. She can't be bought. And money. Which one would you choose?
Mistake. Let me ask you a question before I answer this, Rick. I'm sorry. Friday, which one would you think I would take? I'm interested what you, after you heard my story Friday, after I shared with you Friday, which one do you think I would take?
I would say, actually, I would say love.
You're
and,
right.
And the reason I say that is because although you had a negative experience in your first marriage, you're still open to getting married again.
You're damn right. So
yeah.
Ricky, answer your question. I would take love. And now, let me say this. If you had
to protect that money though, now I bet.
Rick, let me say this. If you asked me in 2016 when I first got divorced, it probably wouldn't have said that. Because I had lost faith in the idea of marriage to the point where I had to go to counseling and get therapy about this, to even be open to do it again, to be open to even think about doing it again, to the point where I was just talking negative about marriage. You know, and that's where I was. I was in that dark place with it. And so it took some time, it took some help. But 2022 now, love for sure.
I think people also have it messed up because when you don't have money, it looks great from the outside. But when you hit a certain tax bracket, I think it's like over the $150,000 a year meets your basic human needs. and you look around and you've been everywhere, you've done everything, you've experienced everything and bought everything. We talked about this yesterday on the podcast, and you are doing it by yourself, you're going to be lonely. Like, you're going to look around and be like, damn, I'm looking for something money can't buy.
And real quick, what Hank was saying, you know, if you ask him in 2016, yo, that's growth, man. Because where you were, because I was there too. I mean, of course, I wasn't married, but I had a serious relationship that ended, and some people live there. Literally, how you felt in 2016, how your mind thought, all the negative thoughts, waking up just thinking of everything negative. Some people live there and never, you know what I mean? But after a while, you start to realize, man, life is life, bro. You know what I'm saying? Life is life. It's gonna happen. You can sit here with your fists clenched like you Arthur and cry about it, or you could get back on the horse, yo.
I think people
Exactly.
prioritize money too because I think they think that money is going to be able to buy them love. And what happens is the money buys them access to things that they love for the moment. And that's not a true experience of what love is, because love is whether it comes, whether what you have comes or goes, the love is that is there is going to remain. That's not going to change. That's going to be solid. I remember I asked my husband, we was having this conversation. I had asked him, what do he think love is? And this is early on, like years ago. And he's remained the same in terms of his response, which is love is understanding, period. And so I explained, I was like, well, explain that. What do you mean? He was like, love is understanding, having a true understanding of that person that you're with and not trying to change them. Like, you understand the essence of who they are. And in that way, you're able to adapt and adjust when necessary. And I think a lot of times we look at love as this emotional thing. And really, it truly is understanding the person that you're with, so you can kind of move forward, and whatever life throws at you, you guys are able to make those, adjustments to keep moving forward.
Hey, Shan Monet, how are you? Welcome. How can I get one of them sweatshirts, though? That's the question I get. How can I get one of them?
I can get you one. I think I have some red ones. I don't have a black one, but I have a red one.
Yeah, can I get a double XL, please? Thank
Absolutely.
you. Hey, did you catch the convo, the video, or you want me to play it back for you?
Listen, Shan Monet was at church doing the Lord's work. I can't go to hell for y'all. But so I was trying to hear what you guys were saying. No, I didn't see it.
Okay, I'm gonna run the video back for you real quick, and then we'll take off. Okay, hold on.
I don't want to misrepresent men. I'm just speaking from my angle.
Okay.
I'm not speaking for all men.
Got it.
But from my perspective, I feel that a lot of men don't look at marriage like it's gonna last the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is when they're meeting somebody or they're dating in their dating phase and getting to know people or whatever, I feel like a lot of men don't go out with that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It means a soulmate. I feel like they go out on a mission to catch a Therefore, as we date and go through it, I feel that we don't take time to understand the person until we've already had relations and we're a little bit deeper. Deeper don't got to be too far, right? Let's just say 3 months, and you spend a night with each other here and there, that type of deal, just to kind of like illustrate where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
So, but even then, I feel that people in our African American culture get counseling when shit's bad. I don't think they do it in the preparatory stage of research. I think we do it in a stage of failure or misdirection, meaning we're lost. We too caught up in a toxic thing, and we know that shit's not okay. I'm not okay, and I could testify for that. I've been like this. Me all the way. I need help.
Yeah,
and I've went to people said the same thing.
Okay. So most women prioritize love and men prioritize money. With that video, what's your idea on this, Shan?
Well, I mean, I agree with what he's saying, but I think that we just do everything wrong. That's the problem. I think that when it comes to getting help, that can be in a form of vetting. We don't vet people. Help it's like the retro versus being proactive in versus being retroactive. So being proactive is vetting people, having people vet people for you, instead of getting yourself into something, moving too fast, like you said, being I guess intimate and then figuring it out through the intimacy. That's fast forward. You shouldn't even get into that without knowing the person in the first place. Am I making sense? I was kind of listening to it, but I had a lot going on in the background at the same
Making
time.
perfect sense.
But
Keep going.
yeah, so I think that once we get that, so I absolutely do agree with him. Yes. But the only solution to that is if we go back to square one, which is the vetting. If we had people vetting our mates out for us before we even get into bed with them, before we do any of those things that to me are high level relationship things, stop doing those in the first month or the first few months without getting to know a person, then we wouldn't have these same issues, these toxic relationships. Why are you just now finding out about somebody after you've slept with them? That's crazy to me. So
Okay, thank you. And Hink, what do you think on the actual? I know we took a little detour, but we're back with the video and the subject matter. Most women prioritize love and men prioritize money. Do you find that to be true?
Well, definitely. Well, let me say this. As far as women prioritizing love, now I don't think they do it no more. I don't think they used to. 2022, no, they don't. They it's a movement, and it's all about the bag. They all about the bag and making the money and trying to prove, I think, their value as well as their worth to not only to men but especially to other women. And so, in order to do that, the priority for love it's going to be put on the back burner because they're in the way of me trying to make my money. I don't want no distractions. I don't want anything to hold me down or hold me back. Whether it's a man or even some people it's for the kids to the point where they don't even want to have kids in order to get where they trying to go. So yeah, it's unfortunate to me. It very is. But like another thing he was saying was we're more reactive instead of being proactive. That's true. And I know the next time I do get married, we're going to premarital counseling. That's automatic. That's automatic. Now, of course, I didn't think about that then. I wish I had, and it might have maybe put me a far along as far as in a marital game, but I didn't do that. So my priorities was not where they should have been. But you live and learn. And that's the beautiful thing. You live and learn, and then you learn from your mistakes and you move forward. So
You're on mute, Ricky.
I'm sorry.
It's Jay. Jay knew what was up. What you got, Jay?
Oh, nah. Like, I think the conversation, as far as women prioritizing love, I think the conversation is changing. Once upon a time, that was true. Our mothers and grandmothers, like, the stakes were a lot higher. They stuck by their men through real thick and thin. You know what I mean? Nowadays, if you listen, the conversation is changing. Like, you hear people talking about a couple gets divorced after 6 years, and you hear people saying, "Oh, well, they had a successful marriage, or this was successful." That's what's being pushed as success. Just because you were in a marriage for 6 years and you amicably broke up, that was successful. Like, nah, that's not successful. You know what I mean? Because those vows, to my understanding, say till death do us part. So what's the success in that in reality? But that's what's being pushed so that you can go into a marriage saying, if this ain't working, or if he gets fat, or if she gets fat, or if he start wearing funny hats, or if he start just doing any, stupid reasons, we can break up and it'll still be deemed successful. I won't have a scratch, or a chink in my armor because of it.
And I just like I said, I think in the beginning I was like, women need to stop trying to be greedy and get both. You want to be masculine and then you want the hugs and the love and you want all these things. It don't work like that. And you know, just being on these panels really made me like, that's what you know, it's giving what we want to give everyone, like a lesson, and to learn from it. And me being on these panels really taught me, like, man, I done did some effed up things in my past relationship. And it's like, man, like, if only if I knew that a lot of things that I thought was broken as women, we be looking at the emotional side of things, and we can break down and leave the whole relationship off just because we just didn't feel good that day. Or he didn't tell me I was pretty that day. Or we didn't go on dates because we looking on social media. We looking at these things, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, let me get to the bag, and let me get to this, and let me do this, and let me do that. And it's like, but then yeah, you want love too. You want the love, and you want the money, you want the power. It's like so many women want everything, and you can't get everything.
You cannot have it all.
Well, I think now it's conditional as well. Like my grandparents had an unconditional love. Like I love my kids unconditionally. There is not a thing in this world that my children could do that I would ever stop loving, pouring into them, and giving to them. And the reality of it now is that men are only loved as far as he can provide, and women are only loved for as long as she's pretty and as many babies as she can have and tangible things. And I believe in God. So for me, the Bible, the oldest book in this world, talks about that love is the greatest thing that we have as humans. And so that's an unconditional thing to me. And I think that the thing is now is we put so many conditions on something that's supposed to be unconditional and an action.
Yeah, my take on it is this. I think neither one as a whole prioritize love. I think both men and women at this point in society prioritize money over everything. Not just over love, but your children, your relationships, your livelihood, your health. Right? People want to keep using the talking points, right? And let me explain to y'all why these things never work out with rich people, right? Now, no one's a monolith. No one's a monolith. We do have some successful relationships that are based on love, and as we say on these panels so many times, that is based. Usually, why does it work? Because that woman and man was together from the mud, right? Isn't that usually why it works when money becomes involved? Right. See, but what people don't understand is that when a man has a certain amount of money, his alerts has to be up on all time because most women really don't want you for you. Right. So y'all saying the bag will get you this. What a bag will get you do. What the bag does get you is a lot of options that you have to choose from. But the truth of the matter is most of those options aren't the right one. Right. When you pull up to a club or a restaurant in that 7 Series Beamer, right, or that S600, right, a certain woman's going to approach you with a certain mindset and a certain mentality off bat. So you got to be on defensive all time. So what's the odds of you picking a good woman out of all the ones that's reaching you? And then you sit back and cry about, well, she took me for this, she wanted me for that, she's a gold digger. Well, that's what you're presenting. You're presenting yourself for gold diggers, right? And not even that, per what they say on these panels, the ones that are, again, the normal women, y'all don't want them anyway. Right? See, the problem is not that y'all don't understand what love is. Y'all just love money. You love money more than your relationships. Y'all love money more than being with somebody, right? We're having somebody with you, and that money, the very money you say that will put you in position to choose what you want to choose, you will never get to it because it blinds people. They're disguised from you. You will never see them. Right? And also, how they distinguish a relationship as successful because they make money, because they own businesses, because they got a big house. Well, all the while behind them two doors, the relationship is toxic from the gate to the end. So I will pick love over anything. I can get money. Money is a tool to simply establish and get the things you need to live in life. That's it. Money is not the goal. It is not the end game. Right? So I think at this point, both sexes put entirely too much emphasis on money. Is money a good thing to have? Sure. Everybody want to be able to go to Cabo and, drive the new Benz, you know what I'm saying? And have a closet full of shoes. I understand. But is that worth you having somebody that's really down with you for the rest of your life? Is it? Because it's just weird to me how once everybody gets into these older ages, the story totally changes. It's going to change. And none of y'all, no matter what y'all talking about, is the exception. Life going to show you a lot better than we could.
It was something that you had said earlier in one of our in one of our other shows. We had spoke about, I think it was on She Critique or the solution. I can't remember which one, in which we had discussed that for a lot of times, like Black people, we think with a deficit mindset. And it was, I don't know if it was Mommy 3 or Indy who had just said the problem is that we want it all, right? And the truth of the matter is that I think we could have it all. You can have it all, but I think you have to be realistic of what that is, what that looks like. So for most people, they're having it all is more of a fantasy aspect of, oh, I want, $500 million in the bank, and I want, the woman to do all of these things, and I want my man to do all of, like, I think those are delusional or fantastical kind of ideas of what having it all means. But like you pointed out, Ricky, it's more of, yes, you're going to need money to supply, your basic needs or whatever. So if we're starting there and we're saying that this is what having it all is, I have a roof over my head, I have clothes on my back, I have a woman that loves me, I have a man that's going to take care of me, and meet my needs, and I'm going to meet, to me, that is having it all. But I think it's when we go beyond that and want more, like we have a mindset of basic isn't good enough, right? And in some aspects, yes, you want to strive to be the best family you can be, the best partner you can be. But our focus isn't on those things. Our focus is how much money we can make. We're going to be the best at our job. We're going to be the best. Like it's more of a competition that has those results that don't necessarily reflect what you want as a reflection of your family. So you're pursue the job, pursue the money, you'll get all of that, but on the back end, your family is being neglected, right? So it's like finding that balance. Like, what if I say that I want everything, what is that going to look like? What is the result going to look like? And then that's where you put your efforts.
Agreed. Anybody else? Y'all got anything else on this?
Man, I really wish that the women now in my age group could think just like Miss Taken. I really wish that when they think about having it all, that they thought about those things. You got women now that think about, they want to be able to twerk and show their ass on IG and do all these things, get all these attention from all these men, then think that they can go home to a good man. You got them, they want it like, oh, I'm Miss Independent. I got my own this and I got my own that. But then again, they want to tell a man what to do and this and that, but want to call him up because something broke, or, oh, I need you to take trash out. Oh, I need you to do these things. Like, it's like they want to be dominant, but then again, they want the luxury of it. They ain't gonna go out there and build a fucking gas station, but they act like they do. And it's like, I wish that women, when they think about those options of having it all, I wish that they could just think about that part of it. You got these women thinking about, man, you'll be surprised, man. The stuff that goes on in their head when it comes down to what a good man is, what a man's supposed to do, and this and that. It's just mind blowing, and it's just crazy. Like, I literally rather sit at home with my kids than to talk to half of these women, like to even have them as a friend, because it's the stuff that they do, the way they use men for the money and say it's theirs. You got women out here saying they entrepreneurs, but a man was the reason why they got that lash shop or why they got that hair business. It came from a man finessing him, using him. A lot of women come up, they get what they have because of the man that they use and lay down with, the sugar daddies and this and that. A lot of women really out here getting a lot of women out here really in the book studying. They really doing this stuff by themselves. But you got a lot of women out here portraying themselves to really get in the bag, but they got the bag from a man. And now they all independent. So it's like, I really wish, Miss Taken, that a lot of women could use, like when they think of having it all, they think about those things. And I'm glad you said it, because maybe someone out here can listen to that and actually understand that having it all means something else, not doing what you want to do and this and that and tricking off and think that you can come home to a good man. That's not having it all.
Well, let me say this. I know she was talking about talking and communicate. Ladies, one thing y'all need to stop doing is allowing everybody into your marriage. Stop allowing everybody into your marriage. Because the problem is, if you and your husband are having issues, you shouldn't be going to your mother, your cousin, your friends, and everybody shouldn't be knowing your business. Why? This is what happens. Soon you and your husband back on good terms, they still are looking at him sideways. They still got ill feelings toward him because of the way he done you, or the way he talked to you, or the way he mistreated you, or what he didn't do, or what he's supposed to do. Stop involving people in your relationship. If there's a problem, then you go to third party. That means you need to go to see a counselor. Get some marital counseling. Let that be your place of relieving and unwinding and throw your burdens at him. That's what y'all paying him for. But when you bring that third, fourth, fifth, and sixth party in, like y'all do, because y'all can't shut your goddamn mouth sometimes, and y'all just got to tell somebody, tell a therapist. I encourage it, man. If you don't, it's going to be a forever problem for you ladies who continue to run your mouth. So guess what? Because you're going to have that one friend going to really see the value in that man, who's really going to see the value in that man and realize you full of shit. And she knows you're full of shit. And she going to slide on in there. And she going to put her goddamn bid in. Don't be surprised she done ran off with your dude because you talk too goddamn much.
Your husband? She gonna run off with your husband?
Yeah.
They both better be bulletproof. They both better be bulletproof, because that is adultery. Adultery.
See, the thing is, a lot of women advertise that man.
If he leaves you, if he divorces you, it's not adultery. Now, it might be a trifling move on your friend's part, but it's not adultery if he leaves you.
You're not saying creeping. You're not saying creeping.
No.
She's gonna be plotting on you.
I'm talking about, because you know your friend. I'm telling you what your friend gonna do. Girl, you should go on and leave his ass. You better than that. Yeah, right. You gassed him up. Yeah, you right. I'm done. Left him. 2 or 3 years down the road, all of a sudden you see them together. You like, what the fuck?
You get that invitation in the mail.
That is wild. That's wild.
You'll be surprised with the women. I don't think you have to do it. Ask an old ex. How many of your old friends done tried to talk to him after y'all?
Guys do it. I know guys do it. Like,
no, I'm talking about your friends, the women. Ask your ex. I'm telling you, ask one of your exes or somebody, a friend that you've been around. I bet she hopped in his inbox. I bet she tried to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry about y'all relationship. I thought y'all was gonna be together forever." That's her way of getting in. 9 times, and that's why I don't understand why women, all this women power, girl power crap, when 9 times out of 10 women would backstab each other. It's best to go home, get with your man. I'd rather talk to my man than to talk to half these women out here, because they are backstabbers. They will use you, and then a lot of women be advertising their man on social media. When y'all tell y'all people making all these TikToks and all this stuff about their man, you selling your man to somebody else. And it's so sad.
Y'all keep on fatting the frogs up for them snakes to eat.
No,
But see,
I love every bit of it, baby.
you
I
have to
think
vet
it's based on who
Hey, don't
you
act like you don't know what I'm talking about with your country ass.
I was gonna say it's all about I think who you let in your circle and who you surround yourself around.
vet your
Um
friends.
and
Miss Lakeith, why
I
you?
agree with not just telling everybody your business. You shouldn't. But I do have a select, like I know I can talk to my mom about certain things. One, she's older. I know she has wisdom. I know she's been through like being married, things like that. So there are certain things that I know I can go to her about in regards to my marriage to get that feedback from her to say, no, this is what you need to do, or this is what you should do, or even using her marriage, because after 21 years she ended up getting a divorce, and I know us as the children, we were like, why my mom was the pedestal. She was the epitome of, the woman that any man would want, right? And she ended up divorcing. But even with that, I remember us having conversation, and she said, I look back and there are things that I did wrong. And we're like, what? You are perfect, like one of those, because everybody thinks that they're, for the most part, their mom could do no wrong. But having those discussions. And so when I go to her for advice, it's one of those things of either A, you need to go back to your husband and have this discussion, and you may want to approach it this way. But it's never like, I don't, she doesn't treat him any different in regards to when we're having those conversations, because she wants us to win. And that's the thing. I think you got to go to people who want you to win. And sometimes going to them means they're going to check you on your shit.
Well, Mistaken, let me ask you this. Is your husband going with you when you're having this conversation?
Not all
getting
the
one
time.
side of the story. So
No.
she's just getting one side of the story.
True. And if a person knows you, they know that too, because my mom knows how I am. She's gonna know, even without me saying certain things, because she knows me, she already knows my approach might have been off. And so she's gonna check that and be like, now, did you say blah, blah, blah? Or what did you do? What happened first? So she's gonna ask those questions. And I think that's how you know who you can kind of talk to. If you have everybody in your circle that's like, yeah, girl, if I was you right, you should leave it, like that's not the person you want to talk to for that. But somebody who's going to check you and be like, mistake, you're wrong. You were dead wrong for doing that. You need to go apologize, those things. Because as women, I don't know if men do this, but as women, we have certain friends that we know what we can go to with. If we want the friend to be the yes friend, girl, I hear you, that we're going to go to them because that's what we want. We'll avoid the friend that's going to stop us in the tracks and be like, girl, you're wrong for that. Like, we have certain friends that we go to for certain things. And so what I'm saying is you have to know who you need to go to. I don't think I would necessarily always go to my friends for marriage advice, only because they some of them are not married, some of them are married and their marriage was toxic. So sometimes you give advice based on your toxic experience. So for me, I'll go to I'm therapists are not out of the question. Like, I definitely have done that too. But if I need some quick advice for something, I know I can go to my mom. I know I can go to my sisters because they know me best. They know my ish. They know him as well. And so when that information or that feedback comes, is typically what's going to be in the best interest of making my marriage work.
And let me say this.
I understand what you're saying, Mr. That's too many people. If I was in a relationship with you, there's no way I can accept that you have that many people in our circle. We got to circle her. Nobody's penetrating my circle. If you're not my wife, you're not any woman else. No, we're not involved in anyone else unless it's a therapist or somebody who I know is legitimately unbiased, and we will take his advice We will talk about it and we will apply it to our lives. There's no way I could involve all the people you just sit there and mention to me. Like
well, let me tell you, for example.
I understand what you're saying, and that you got your, I guess, like what you call them, accountability partners.
Yeah, and he does too. Not that he goes to my sisters, but like I said, with my sister, we're all in-laws. You know, they have, you know, their brothers, and as a male group, because, you know, again, they know each other because of us all being married, so we're all family. So they will even have conversations about us as their wives with each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a situation where when information is given that we can't take that information and apply it, and not only apply it, but also open up room for discussion between us. So I may go to my mom for something, and then I'm coming back to the table to have that conversation with him, but she's giving me advice or tools to come to him in a way that's going to open the door for good dialogue and conversation. I don't think you should just have the conversation just to get the one off because you're mad and then not come back to tackle the issue. But
I think that too. You have to understand your friends, because I know that because I'm around my friends' husbands so often, because we're such a close-knit type of group. And they've been married for so long, he's kind of a friend too. So you kind of know their character. So if something goes down, you're like, what? Wait, this doesn't even sound right. Like, you know, so, and I'm pretty sure that's the way Mistaken's mom feels as well. Like if my sister and her husband, something happens, we love him like he's a brother. So we're going to try to make it work because we have that connection with him. You understand what I'm saying? We're not talking about those friends who, or those loved ones who don't know and they're just going to always choose your side. These people usually are, if you're very family oriented, they've brought him in as a family member. And so you really want to make it work. And I think that's what Mistaken is trying to, that's the type of household she has or family she has.
Yeah, I think in these situations, I think how you know who's the friends that's really for y'all is the first, if you go to them, right? Mother, father, brother, the first question should be, what did you do? What'd you do? Right? That because like that cheerleading for bad stuff, I don't do that. You see what I'm saying? We need to talk about, and again, this is what I tell people in coaching, right? What you feel is not what happened. Right? What you feeling is not what happened. What really happened? Let's actually assess the situation for what it is. Let's get your feelings out of it, because your feelings are yours. No one is accountable for those feelings but you. I don't care what people say. Oh, this person, no, you felt that way about it. You made yourself feel that way. Right? So that's how you should know. But I totally agree with Hink. Like, don't nobody got anything to do with this. Like, you want counseling, we need to come and holler at this. We need to talk about this from up front, because if we having that conversation, why is it that you feel comfortable going to tell your true feelings about what's going on between me and you, instead of sitting down with me and saying, hey, this is really what it is? You see what I'm saying? That's a problem. That's a real problem when you being honest with yourself, right? So the same way you're able to voice, like me and you might have the discussion and you give me a third of the feelings and, you know, the feelings in your perspective of it than you would your mother that you think you speaking to in confidence. You see what I'm saying? Or your best friend. These are the conversations you should be having with me. And that's why I keep saying it's a problem with people. Y'all really don't like the people y'all with, because you're not even open to being 100% real with them. You see what I'm saying? And that goes to the subject matter, what dude said. We do not do these things before we get intimate with people, before we call ourselves bonding with people and going into a relationship. These are the things you're supposed to discuss before we even lay down with each other. Before we even talk about sheets, we should be talking about this other stuff. And again, just like he said, and just what the brother said, we reactive on a lot of things and not proactive. We should be proactive in getting this information before we even talk about, hey, I want to be with you a long term. I want to deal with you for such and such time, because it will alleviate a bunch of the issues. But like I said, Black people, we always want to look at the pus, right? We want to look at why the sore is there and not how the sore got there. Right? So with that being said, let's pay some bills real quick. Let's check the likes. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Right now we are at 188 likes with 427 people. Y'all think I won't go to commercial on y'all? Y'all think? Well, If y'all don't hit that like button, I swear for God. I swear for Jesus Christos, y'all, man, hit the like button, y'all. Come on now, don't cost you nothing. Y'all either freeloaders or haters, and I hope that ain't none of y'all, man. Go ahead, smash the like button. Let's pay these bills real quick. My boy Dale Matthews in the building, $10. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. Come on, y'all. BMS for Tech.
My daughter.
Okay, huh? As a community, we have to make being a family dope again. We only praise the turn up lit life. Well, facts. Groggle? Is that how you say it? Groggle? Yeah, Cap. I adopted a woman's kids, made it so she could be a stay-at-home mom. She left to struggle and to this day admits I did nothing wrong. Making a woman's life easier is a no-go for me going forward. You just chose wrong, bro. It happens. You see what I'm saying? Y'all change y'all entire life off one fucked up decision. Y'all weird, bro. Players fuck up. Continue to make your past your present. It's whatever, bro. What y'all don't understand, y'all robbing yourselves out of relationships. Y'all ain't doing nobody else dirty, bro. You robbing yourself out of experiences. But I digress. Dale Matthews Band, he said relationships sink when you invite people on your journey that's only made for you. Hey, this boat only big enough for some people, for us, right? It's our life raft. Real 83, $10. He said, Rick, me and my lady live a simple life. I'm a truck driver and she's a nurse, and we are content with the simple things in life. Our favorite restaurant is still Chili's. LOL. Correction, a simple life. Black Lexicon was good. He said, I do this because of love. Stupendous topic. Kudos for this. We appreciate you. Appreciate y'all, man. So again, smash the like button, get it out the way. Our next topic.
And real fast before you do that next topic, Hank, I want to say thank you for correcting my word. It's reactive. Teamwork, baby.
Okay, let's go to the next. Yeah. Next video.
Care about a man's potential at all. I don't.
Baby
I care about his productivity, because now you wake up with the man in his boxers on your couch in your refrigerator scratching his balls, talking about when his dinner ready, and he don't even know how much your rent is.
Right.
There's no way. I don't play sleepovers. I don't play house. I don't do none of that. That's not my shit. I don't play those type of games. There's no way a man is sleeping up comfortably or even coming over talking about something. I want to chill. My house is not an entertainment system, baby. That's not what we doing. You want to take me out, court me properly, date me properly, and I'm not a virgin. Let me tell you, it's harder to get my pussy now than it was then. You should have hit it then when I was open and I was naive and I was ready for everything. And I didn't know my worth. But now here I am, and I'm a girl with depth, with substance, with coof. There's no way I'm even allowing a man to even know where I live at until he done proved himself. You don't even get the address. You don't even get the address. And this is what I be talking about. Women take things so lightly and men don't. So let's just go back to the narrative saying like a man wants you all in, and he wants you all in, and he's not all in because he's waiting for you to prove yourself. Because women give it up too easy.
Everybody catch that?
Gotta love my New Yorkers.
Yeah, she's from the Bronx or Brooklyn.
I was just about to say that.
Okay.
I caught most of it. For some reason, my computer's acting funny, but I think I caught it.
You want me to run it back for you? I'll run it back.
No, I don't want everybody to suffer because of my internet.
Okay. So the subject on this one, the question is, or the statement is, I don't care about a man's potential. I care about his productivity. Jay, what you got?
I mean, I think that's absolutely right, man. You know, you want to figure out what is he doing to reach his potential? You know, you can see somebody get into it. You know, if you want to be a rapper, you should still have a job with health benefits, 401k. You should still have something in the background to cushion you while you're pursuing that. That's productivity. Somebody would look at potential as like he could rap his ass off, but he ain't got no job. If this nigga run out there, get hit by a car, shot, punched, that's $1,800 in the emergency room to fix that jaw. You know what I mean? Like nobody's breaking it down like that. So I do agree with that. You need to be productive. You need to be working on whatever your craft, whatever you want to do. You need to be working toward that. You sitting on the computer, editing videos, whatever you're into, you need to be putting a certain amount of man hours into that. That's what I look at as productivity.
Big Hank.
Yeah, that's you know, she's right. You know, you ought to be looking at a man's productivity, what he's doing, and what he's about. You know, I mean, if you're going off potential, I mean, that don't make sense to me. Now, I don't know how old she is. She seems like she's a seasoned woman now, because she's talking about how easy she was giving out when she was younger. I'm glad she's more mature now. She seems like the way she was talking. But yeah, you better base off of productivity, because if you ain't, then you got a long line of losers lined up waiting for you. So,
okay, Shan, what you think?
Well, I just saw the beginning of it when she was saying she didn't want no man in her refrigerator. Because whatever reason, the videos are like on my side. But I agree with her. I mean, even Louis Farrakhan, I think we did a show about the unproductive man. Women like men to be productive. You know, I need to see what you're doing with yourself. And why is he at your house, even to go into the refrigerator? Dear lady, do not even invite him over. What are we doing here? So I'm gonna keep listening. I kind of want to come back when I hear it, kind of get an idea what the whole video was talking about. But I did agree with her on the part that I did here. So
Gotcha. What you think, Simply Andy?
Yeah, I can say this now. Like, it's not a guy that can say that he's come over to where me and my children lay our head. Like, you cannot. I'm so protective over the space and where we're at. If it's not my dad or my brothers, you're not coming over here until we're like locked in and I vetted you and I feel like, you know, I watch how you move in your house, in your life, and not what you're saying, not the dream you're trying to sell me, but what you're doing. And another thing that I think I personally have experienced is that like I've dated and I had like a guy who wanted to be on the phone all the time. I'm in engineering school. I do podcasts. I work out. I'm a mom. I don't have time to be on the phone with you 24/7. I'm like, where's this dude's job at? What are you doing that allows you to be on the phone with me all the time? And like, you know, a lot of men complain about women wanting that. Like, oh, she wants to be on the phone with me all the time. She wants all my time, this, and that. But a man with no plan and no traction and no action behind that, he's not doing anything for real. And that's something I personally can't get behind. I cannot get with somebody who doesn't have a plan for themselves.
Okay, Miss Taken, what you think?
I think it's the potential without action that's the problem. I don't think everybody is going to come already made, right, or already put together, but you got to see the actions that they are in productively, taking action to improve their outcome or to reach their fullest potential. And that's not going to happen overnight. If you're about growth, that's going to be a forever kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? You're always going to be chasing your fullest potential, because once you get to a point and you just stop, that's it. But I think what we need to be looking for, of course, you need to do the vetting and stuff like that. But if you're saying, oh, I plan on doing this, or I'm going to do that, and we haven't seen any specific steps or any specific actions towards that goal, as women, a lot of times we'll say, okay, we'll take their word for it, as opposed to having them not prove it to us, but actually proving it to themselves. So I don't think it's anything wrong with dealing with someone with potential, especially depending on your age and stage in life. The younger you are, somebody's not going to be there, but you can see that potential. And I think it's okay to date someone at that early stage and y'all work together to build. but you know, somebody in their 40s or 50s, they don't necessarily have that same time, nor should they still be looking at someone that's like, oh, I'm trying to reach my potential. So I think it depends on the age and stage you are in life when you deal with somebody with potential who haven't actually gotten there yet.
Mommy Three Loves. Where you at with it?
Oh yeah, I really feel like you should. It should be, you know, where you at in life when it comes to that. And it's so crazy because every time I look at these type of videos, I look at everything. I look at, you know, the audience and the people who ask the questions. And just like I said in the first one, how those women was like, yeah, to the man. So when this woman saying this, which I agree with her. Yes, you do. But that, yes, girl, you do this. You can, the energy changes. And that's what I look at. I'm like, and that's something that I hope and pray that we don't teach our young ladies that we're raising now. These whole phases. Oh, I gave this up to 1,000 men in my 20s. Now all of a sudden, let me value this coochie. Oh, now all of a sudden your coochie got this high value to it. Now that's something I don't understand. And I've been trying to figure out like what is this? All of a sudden you want to be celibate because you done like me, I'm a woman, I don't have a high count. I don't. You know, I was in a relationship for a long time. I wasn't out there like that, but I just don't understand, you know, all of a sudden you want to know exactly what his credit score is. You want to know all these things, but why you didn't show why you didn't value yourself at first? Why women don't value themselves in their 20s? Why you don't value yourself like then now? Like what's going on? Like I just don't understand. Like why all of a sudden you want to value yourself at 30? Also, you want to find love. You want to find yourself. You want to discover yourself at 30. Now all of a sudden you don't want a man with potential. You was potential. You should be glad that a man even wanted you at 20 when you was in your whole phase, in your whole stage. Now all of a sudden you 35, all of a sudden you wanna know what a man is doing, what kind of job he got at 35. Like why women don't value themselves going to college? Why they don't value themselves? You know, I just don't understand.
And let's pivot off that, right? So with that being said, with what she said, what makes her now at this point qualify for a man that was better than the one she had, the one she chose to be with? Right? That's my question to the panel. What's so different now? Just now, all of a sudden, she decides that she increased her value. Is she a better woman than she was than the last man before?
No. I think that too, it comes with information. Obviously, you know, even we have these panels, YouTube has opened us, I talk to Mistaken all the time. Even though I've never been that chick, like I don't just spread my wings, but even YouTube on other pieces of information is opened your mind up to so many things. It's just learning, you know. I have no clue to why women do that in their 20s, and I have no clue at all. But I do think that there's a level of education that's out there, a little level of just being just learning so much. And I think it just comes with maturity. That's what I'm trying to say in a nutshell. Maturity.
Well, I think that you do level up. Well, you should level up the older you get. So I think I think a lot of times, I can only speak from a woman's perspective, but I think it may be on men too. When you're younger, you don't necessarily recognize your value. You don't. And so from a woman's perspective, a lot of times we're taught that our value is in our looks. Our value is in relation to a man. Our value is our box. So when you're younger, that's what you're thinking. That's what you're being told, the messaging that you're getting from society. But as you go through life, the older you get, you realize that messaging wasn't right. So once you learn, you're supposed to do better. So if I didn't think I was that much of value in my 20s and my choices reflected that, the fact that I didn't value myself, or I didn't, understand the value that I had as a woman. But then when I get to my 30s and I realize that, oh shoot, I am valuable, right? That's supposed to happen. You're supposed to have self-growth. So at that point, that doesn't mean I shouldn't make course correction. I shouldn't say, well, since I gave up my box in my 20s, now I just need to keep giving up my box and don't value it. No, now that I know better, I should do better. So now I set parameters, I set standards for myself, I set guidelines of how I'm going to move forward so I won't continue to make the same mistakes that I did in my 20s. I hate when we keep pushing this narrative, especially towards, and I'm gonna say towards women, because that's what I see, is that, oh, you have a kid, oh, you done had this much body count, oh, so now when you go date, you should just go ahead and give it up because nobody else is gonna want you. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. You should value yourself. The more you learn about who you are, you begin to set certain standards for yourself. You shouldn't lower your standards just because some guys don't want to meet them and think that, well, I shouldn't have to jump through hoops because you gave it up to somebody else, so you should give it up to me too. No, I just can't subscribe to that. I'm sorry.
And let me say, real fast. I think that too, women think that their vagina has power. I think that they go in with that thinking that that's going to get them what they want, and then they just get used in the process.
It does have power, though. It does have power. It's just not.
What I'm saying to you is to get the man. A lot of women lead with that. They go into these situations and you think, oh, that's going to help me get the guy, and all along you just gave him what he wanted.
But how many guys have stayed around females because, like, when we're younger, Drake even made a song about it. Women have gotten what they want from men by going in with that reproach. The guys, let me just tell you right now, the guys in their 20s do not give a fuck about if you're a good person, if you have a good heart. They don't care about that. They're looking at how attractive you are and what's that like. That's what they care about. Then they'll listen to you and pretend like they care about how you feel and yada, 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 so they can get that. That's why me and my brother were talking about this the other day. The only difference between nice guys and assholes, it's just the amount of time and what they're willing to do to get the box. Because at the end of the day, a guy still wants to try your body. He still wants to get pussy from you. Like,
what are you getting? But my point is, what are you getting in return?
Right. What are you gonna get? You're not gonna get nothing. A baby. That's what most women gonna get. A goddamn baby that they gonna end up keeping, and they gonna end up being a single mother. And then guess what? Guess how men gonna see us now? Just like what Miss Taken said.
These girls now though aren't getting babies as much as you think they are.
But you're giving out your vagina.
You're giving your vagina out because you feel like it's powerful.
In return, you're not getting married. You've gotten married twice, absolutely. But yours is not you're in the military. That's we're talking about in general. You're not getting anything. Most women are not getting anything in return. They're just not. What kind of security is in that? Nothing. There's no security in that. You gave him what he wants. Now he can go on about his business.
There's no security in anything, though. Like, I'm going to be just straight honest with you. Like, you want a guy.
After this, we're going to let Jay go.
Huh?
We're going to let Jay go after you're done. After you're done, it's Jay's go.
You want a guy to give you all of these things. You want a guy to pour into you. But the one thing that he wants, you're holding out on it. A guy is only so patient for so long. They're only
So what do you think the only thing a woman wants? Marriage, right? Are they getting it?
It's that messaging right there that you just said. A man is only going to hold out for so long. And I think a lot of no, that's facts.
Yeah.
But I think as women, a lot of times we move based on that. That's what we're trained. That's kind of what society has taught us. If you don't do this, then you're going to lose the man. So what happens is then we begin to prioritize our box because we're told that that's the most important thing that men want. So in our mind, that psyche is, well, if I don't give it up, then he's going to leave and go get it from somewhere else. So guess what we do? We end up giving it up.
And he goes somewhere else.
He goes somewhere else anyway.
Be okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
Hold up.
Nuances right there that we don't even realize as women that we're conditioned to think like that.
Hold up.
You have to be okay
Hold
with
on,
them walking
Andy.
away.
Hold on. Hold your thought, please. We're gonna let Jay get in here. He's been waiting for a minute. Go ahead, Jay. What's your point, bro?
Jay.
I mean, I compare it to, like, everybody knows that high school quarterback, you know, they got all that praise and he was popular. And then you see him maybe 20 years later, 15 years later, and, you know, you're kind of like, and he has that same attitude that he did when he was in high school. That same, and it's like, homeboy, like, you're a bum now. Like, please calm down. Like, there's adjustments that need to be made. Like, life will humble you. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Life will humble you. And decisions that you make early on in life affect you. You know, yes, you're young, you're immature, and that's why, you know, we need to do better as far as instilling in our kids that choices that are made will affect you later. So the woman who is doing that, you know, just imagine it as a high school quarterback. They're getting all this praise, they're getting all this attention, they're being treated a certain way. They have their pick of the litter. You know, you can look at men as the schools that they can choose to play college football at. Once that's all gone, nobody's still looking at you like that high school quarterback. You know, you've given yourself to all these people. You have to deal with the repercussions that come from that. Now, true indeed, you've matured, you value yourself more, but you can hope for people to value you the way you feel you need to be valued, but that's not guaranteed, especially if they were around you in a time when you were very giving of your valuables. So you have to deal with that.
Yeah, and let me add on this before I let Simply Indy go finish her thought, right? So with this dynamic, what women don't understand is y'all set the incorrect dynamic from the gate, right? It's totally the incorrect dynamics. Now, for what the question I have is this, right? So the thing that makes a woman valuable to men is what? This is a question for the panel, right? Anybody can go. What makes women valuable to men?
Men. I would like
the non-tangibles. That's what I've learned that makes me more valuable to the other women that my husband had been dealing with. All of all the women that he dealt with prior to me, he was having sex with. We got together, we had sex, but that wasn't any different in terms of, you know, having sex is having sex. It was the intangibles that I was able to provide to him that other women weren't. So I think that's the value. You got to understand you to know what you can provide that somebody else isn't going to for that particular man, should I say.
Anybody else? What is valuable? What value is in a woman that's important to a man? What's the most important
cooperation?
Value?
Are you ready to get on board with his plan and his?
That's one. Go ahead.
Right.
Fertility.
No, I was gonna say what she says. Her beauty initially, and then what she adds to my life.
Okay. So with that being said, right? These women that made these bad choices all of a sudden make a mind change, right? To say they're no longer accept the type of men that they were choosing. But what I'm asking is this: are these things that a man values all of a sudden on her plate that she all of a sudden now realize them or do those things, or just in her mind that she say, I want this type of man without doing the work she needs on herself to keep that type of man, to acquire it? Because no matter what women keep saying, that's the man y'all chose throughout your lifetime. This is the man you chose. So now that you made a change of the type of man you want, are you providing those intangibles, as we like to say, those things that a man that you now want, the ones you ignored in the past, right? Are those the ones now that you're saying that you're willing, that your mind state in actions, not your potential, right? That your actions, right? And what y'all don't understand is that it's just most men see this. Just like what Jay said, y'all past is not invisible. The only way that happens is when y'all, y'all not passport bros. Y'all, a lot of women are state Susies, right? You grow up in Minneapolis and you move to LA, right? You grow up in Chicago and you move to Atlanta, right? You run from that past and leave that past behind you, right? But again, I'm asking is, are these women that are expecting these things, are they making appropriate changes, or they're just tired of the results that they was getting?
And that's why I'm so glad you said it, because that's why I was gonna chime in on what Miss Taken said. Like, it's not okay for women, to think less of themselves because they had a baby and, all of a sudden, they want a good man. But it's like, are you putting the work in? The reason why I said what I said, because of this young lady saying these things, you talking too much. Any man that hit her up after that video ain't gonna want nothing from her, because you're too vocal about your past. You too vocal about your whole phase. A man don't need to know those things. And that's what messing up a lot of women. They go in and tell a man on a first date, oh, I'm celibate, but I had a whole phase. They laugh and I think that shit is cute. It's not. Stop telling these men your fucking business on the first date. Like, oh, I'm celibate now. A man gonna look at you and he gonna see. Actually, some men gonna see how far they can get with you, and you still gonna smash them on the first date.
I heard one of the chicks in the background say that's bullshit. No, my fault, mistake. You heard the girl, like the girls in the background that was cheering her on. She's like, that's bullshit. Like, come on, see, that's the issue. Yeah.
I was gonna say I had saw a while ago. I don't know if it was on Instagram or on TV or something, a clip or something, that had gave this example about, like, you can have, I think that it was a pastor or something that offered somebody $100 bill or something like that. It was like, you want this, how much is this worth? They was like, oh, it's $100. It's like, you want it? He was like, yeah. Then he crumbled it up. It was like, here, do you still want it? He was like, yeah. He threw it on the ground and then like stomped all over it. It was like, do you still want it? He was like, yeah. He was like, why? He was like, because it's $100. He was like, well, did it lose its value with everything that it just went through in terms of it being balled up, it being ripped a little bit, it being stomped on or whatever? And no, the person still wanted it. So what I liken that to, as women, as men, we go through things in life where we say that at points in times we may think that we've lost our value. Now, the truth of the matter is, if somebody stumped on it, or stumped on you, or you go through experiences, there are going to be some people that will pass and say, no, I'd rather a crisp $100 bill. I don't want no balled up $100 bill or $100 bill that's been ripped up or whatever. We typically want the clean money, the good looking money. But there are going to be some people who are saying, I understand that the value is still the same and I want that. And that's all I'm saying. You're not going to be, some people are not going to value you the same way that you value yourself, even though you're still worth it. But there are going to be some people who say, I still see your value despite the things that have happened in your life, and I still want that. That's all I'm saying. Is to each his own. And if you don't want that, then that's not the person for you. That's all I'm saying, is that you don't lose your value because you've gone through things in life. And we need to begin to mirror our life according to how valuable we are, because we'll be valuable to somebody, just not everybody.
Yeah, I want to push back on this, Miss Taken, because a $5 bill can't become a $100 bill because it wants to.
Did you hear what I said?
I didn't say that. I said if you are a $100 bill.
What I'm saying though, right? And again, that would be the case, right? But the truth is that if that $100 bill was a $100 bill, it would never get stumped on. You see what I'm saying? That $100 is going to get picked up the first time you see it straight in somebody's hands on facts, right? You don't wait for it. Again, this is what I'm saying. Just because a woman changes her mind and think her value is greater than it was because she's tired, what things is she doing to increase her value?
That's what I'm saying, Ricky. I'm not just saying a woman changing their mind. The actions have to follow. So I can't just say that, oh, now that I realize my worth and I continue to behave in the same manner, because if that's the case, then I'm not valuing me. I can't expect somebody else to value me at $100 level when I'm not doing the stuff that equates to what $100 level look like.
Facts.
I
And
can't be a $5 thinking that I'm $100 and expect somebody to treat me as $100 when I'm not.
But this is what I'm saying, Miss Taken. If you was $100 from the get-go, you would never went through the stuff you had to do to say, I want to pick up that $100 off the ground. I want to speak. You to make the correct choices. It's not about that. It's about, again, your value is in your decisions. And it doesn't matter. You can't sit up there and say, I didn't went through all this with a man that you took, that you and your mental aspect, no matter what. Yeah, I chose to make you my girl. But if you knew that I wasn't the man you wanted me to be or the man that you needed, why make those bad decisions? You see what I'm saying? So
let me push back on you with that. When you are younger, right? You have $100 bill. When you were younger, does that $100 bill mean the same to you when you're 30? Does it have the same value? Because it's about a level of understanding. When I was young in high school and I had a job and I got $100, I thought I was balling. That was a lot of money to me. But when I got older and realized the value of $100 in terms of in relation to the things that was going on in my life, that $100 wasn't a whole lot of money. So that's what I'm saying. When you're younger, you don't really necessarily have the mental capacity or understanding of that value. The $100 didn't change. It was still worth the same amount when I got 30. But when I was 18, it was a whole lot of money to me. So that's what I'm saying. So it wasn't a matter of not knowing, the $100 stayed the same in both situations. But the way I approached it and thought about it and valued it at one stage of my life versus another was two totally different things.
I don't know. I don't know that. I think if comparing vagina to your $100 bill, like I'm sorry.
Analogy.
I know what I'm saying to you is, I mean, I guess I just look at it different. That's the inside of your body. You're just giving it to so many people. That's something else. That's not.
I'm not saying that.
Maturity.
I feel like if I could use this.
Go ahead, Mom.
Like if I could use this, okay, say for instance, I look at it, me being raised by men, I look at it from a man's perspective. When you say $100, right? I look at it as if a man see you from the jump $100, I feel like when he said $5, it just clicked to me. Okay, me being a single mom having 3 kids, a man ain't gonna look at me. Oh, this $100. My value went down. The question is will a man take this 5? Will a man take this 10? Will he take this 25? Because I'm not $100 bill no more.
Well, you ain't 100.
I'm not. I'm not. I mean, I'm just saying because you gotta think about it.
Even with the kids,
I'm not $100 bill because when a man look at me, he gonna look at responsibilities. He gonna look at those type of things. She got 3 kids. Let me see what can I bring into her life to make her life better. That's what most men look at. I'm not gonna be 100. I'm not gonna even be if we talking about just $100 bill. I'm not looking at $1 million. I'm looking at what she said in that concept. What most men look at when they look at like a woman that either been out in the streets, a woman that got kids. A man gonna look at responsibilities before anything. He's not gonna look at just you. You're not just the value. You have kids too.
But
this makes me so sad to hear that. Like,
I ain't never tried on a
I understand what you're saying.
I'm just saying that's how men look at. I don't want to be with a woman. If I was wanting to be with a woman, she would have looked at it just like how you looking at it. Oh, she's just a single mom. She have kids. She this and that. But you have men out here that's looking at everything when they look at a woman with a mom.
I agree with you. And that's exactly what I said. Some people are not going to want the crumpled $100 bill. That still doesn't make you less valuable. It's just that you just not going to be the $100 bill that all men are going to want.
Ask a man that. Ask a man. I want you to ask a man that same
exact. I don't have to only, and it may not be majority man. I don't have to because I've seen it in my life. My uncles have married women and more than one.
Yeah, I asked my dad the same thing this morning. I asked my dad. My dad asked. I just had this conversation with my dad this morning. It's so crazy. I said, Dad, what made you get with a woman that had 3 kids? My dad said these exact words. I knew what I could do for her. I wanted her. And I was willing to be with her kids. What man, every man don't say that. You got so many women out here still choosing bums because he do her good or he buy her things and this and that. You got some men don't even ask about your goddamn kids. They don't even care. They want to come when them kids go to sleep. I mean, they're just
$5 mentality. But I mean, I think that
it don't have to be. I'm just talking about from a man perspective. I'm not talking about from a woman's mind.
Right.
I'm speaking on what most men think.
What you got, Hank?
Look, I said it last week. I know they hate to hear it. Look, y'all equating these women's vagina, these pussies, to $100 bill, but that's all y'all see us men as a wallet. Y'all don't give a shit about us. Y'all, that's all y'all see. But now that you going on the foot, y'all feel, oh, that's so degrading. That's so bad. Why do y'all see this vagina as about money? That's all y'all see as men as. But let me
saying anything against the men for thinking that way.
Let me go even further, Shantae. I'm not gonna let you distract me, baby. It just shows you y'all women have no idea about men. Y'all have no idea at all.
None whatsoever.
And y'all proved it. But don't feel bad, the ladies on the panel, because y'all not the only one. There's a lot of ladies out here with the same mindset and have no idea about men. Look here. Most of these men y'all talk about, they don't give a shit about your kids. Like Mommy 3 Love. We don't want to come through while the kids are up, while they around having a good time. And we're not trying to get to know these kids. We're not. We trying to get through there, get that ass, and get the hell on. And y'all talking about we ain't patient. No, we'll wait you out. We'll wait you out. Now, in the meantime, we knocking off other chicks. In the meantime, we knocking off your neighbor next door to you.
But Indy, that's not what you said, baby.
Yes,
it's
you
not.
listen. What did I say? The difference between a good guy and a bad guy.
Man, I thought I was talking. Y'all made that hink, is it?
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll forgive you. We'll knock off your neighbors. We'll knock off your friends, maybe even your mama if she's looking right. We'll wait you out, and then when you're ready to give it up, we'll knock you down too, and then we'll keep it moving. And guess what? We'll go. We'll go to that respectable woman, that woman we hold to a higher standard, that woman who's at a list of 10, she's knocking down 8 of them, and then we'll wife her up. We'll settle with her. And she might not look like that chick just on the video. Because that chick on the video, that's the one we just gonna knock down and keep it moving.
It's still her Timbs.
But at the end of the day, what I was saying earlier when I said it was that within the first, a man is not gonna wait forever. What he just said is exactly fact. So whether you wait or you don't, if he's choosing you, he's choosing you. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's about your value within yourself. So your vagina does have power. There have been wars waged behind it. Men literally, there have been nations that have fallen at the knees of a woman, behind a woman. So don't ever for a second think that your pussy does not have power, because yes, it does. But it's about that man. Yes,
it's more to it than just that. I think that
it's not just that. No.
It's who the pussy's attached to. You can get pussy anywhere.
Hold on. Stop.
Jesus, I can't finish the damn thought.
Chill out. That's what I'm saying, simply go ahead and finish your part, and then we'll go to it. Okay? Let her finish her thought.
It's about it is about the woman who the vagina is coming from. A lot of women have inflated egos. You think you're a 10, you're not a 10. I'm sorry. You're not. You have to be realistic. And you also have to look at your age too. You also have to look at that, because what you could do when you were 20 years old versus what you can do when you're 40, 50 years old is 2 different things. The men are not coming and lining up and listening to you. I promise you that. My little sister, who's 23, is beautiful, young, and whatever. She could probably have her way with young and old men because her value. So that's all I'm saying. But your vagina definitely does have power, especially if you've never given a man children. Like I have given a man children. I've been married before. My little sister who's single, doesn't have any kids, all that stuff, she has way more value than I do. And that's not to say that we're not both equally as beautiful or anything like that, but she has something that she's never given a man before. And so she has capability to get her way further with a man than I would. And I know that, and I'm accepting of that. However, you have 90 days to make a man fall in love with the intangibles. After 90 days, he will go knock down somebody else's door. But if that man really likes you and he really wants to be with you, he will wait. But you have 90 days, about a 90-day time span. So from anywhere from the time that you guys start dating to 90 days. That's why Steve Harvey talked about it in his book. A couple of other men have also talked about it in their book, the 90-day rule. You have 90 days. He might fall in love with you in those 90 days, but he's not going to fully commit until he test drive the vehicle. Because everything could line up and y'all could be sexually incompatible. And that's the truth of the matter. Y'all could be sexually incompatible. Now he wasted all this time taking you out on dates, all these resources to get some trash vagina from you.
And so let me ask you a question.
Well, that's the thing about it. Y'all, we're not waiting for that.
And I think that you don't have to.
No, we're not. I just sit there and I told you what we're doing. We're hitting your neighbor.
Right, but you
we're
also
talking to your mama.
Hank,
So we're knocking down auntie.
Let me ask you a question.
We'll find it somewhere else until you think you're ready to give it. We're not 90 days. For them 89, we out there. Now that 90th day, we're gonna sit back and relax. See what you about. And if you about it, then we'll go with it. But if you ain't,
a whorish man, yes. And there are such things as whorish men. A whorish man.
Those men you want. You don't want them. That's what we talked about earlier. You don't want that lame ass dude. You don't want him. Now that lame dude, he's right there at your beck and call. He'll wait 365 days if he has to. But that's not what you want. Y'all want that dude that's a whore, that's out there, that's going to give you that action.
I don't like men without dick discipline. That's just me personally, because that means that if he has no dick discipline,
but you don't know he don't have dick discipline.
Yes, you do. You can tell.
How do you know? Because he's not telling you. He's not telling you who he's sniping.
You can.
He's not broadcasting it. He's not advertising it.
But I bet you he got condoms.
Doing what he wants to. You think he's got dick discipline?
I bet you he got condoms, and if you're going,
okay, what does that matter? I still don't mean you got dick discipline. I can knock it down and go in and protect it.
Women aren't paying attention. They're letting a guy sell them a dream. Watch how he's moving. Watch what he's doing. Watch how he's moving. His phone goes on D&D after 9 o'clock. He's fucking someone else. You have to watch how a guy moves, not what he's telling you. That 90 days is for both of you. Watch how he moves. No guy is going to tell you that he's fucking other women, but he probably is. He's not going to tell you. You can look and tell. You can see the way that he's moving towards you will tell you if he's fucking other women too. A guy is not going to go put 110% effort and take you on all these dates and spend all this time with you, and he's getting pussy elsewhere. They're not going to do that if they don't like you.
So let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, Shantae.
So what is the woman's ultimate? Just as a question, what's the woman's ultimate goal?
Ladies?
I would think to get married, if that's what we're talking about.
Absolutely. So as it stands at this moment, only 48% of Black men marry, okay, or have been married, 52%. So you can keep your vagina out, 90-day rule, whatever, it ain't working, okay? You're not getting your end result. So you're going in, you're giving him his goal, but you're not reaching yours. And that's what I'm saying. What are you getting in return? Yes.
Let me, and everybody chill out. You know what I'm saying? Not saying y'all going off. This is a great conversation, right? But let me explain to y'all ladies what this means, right? So, shout out to Miss Taken, right? You might have been $100 when you first started out, right? But then, you spend $100 and you get change back, right? You get change back, right? So your value decreases with every bad decision you make. Same with us, right? Same with us. So with that being said, right, the thing is, if you are down to $5, like I said, you better make that $5 stretch, goddammit. You better know how to make you better know how to make that $5 stretch. right? You got to make that $5 the most profound, the most exotic, right? The most inviting $5 that a man has ever seen. But like I said, y'all think, like I was saying earlier, what value do you bring now, even after all these bad decisions you make, now that you have made the change to say, hey, I want to be this way, right? You have to present value, especially to a good man. Like I said, you can't sit up here and say all of a sudden today, I want it. Like she said, you ain't sleeping on my couch. You ain't gonna know where I'm at. Well, those are the men you chose. They already on your roster. They on your record. This is the type of man you pick. So now you want this dude that's going, hey, I don't need to know where you stay. Right? I got my own shit. Right now, you want this man. What changed in your life besides you changing your mind on the type of dude now you will settle for? What changed? You still the same woman. You still got them bodies on you. Hell, you even still talk the same. Yo, I smacked the shit out of him, B. You know what I'm saying? You still talk the same. What value do you bring? That's why I keep telling you. Listen, ladies, I'm going to tell y'all because y'all don't ever want to listen to me.
Did you hear what I said?
Y'all deserve a man to take care of y'all. You deserve a man to to provide a space for you to take, so you can be in your feminine, to raise your children, for a man to take the burdens of the world off you. But what make you worth it? All the shit you did back in the days, and because today you want to stop seeing that type of dude, and now the next dude got to pay the freight? Just because you decide you ain't built no value in yourself. And y'all, again, the argument is, hey, I got my own money. A real dude don't give a fuck about your money, because you said yourself, he ain't sleeping on my couch. He got to have his own place. A man got this shit already. Make it make sense, please, ma'am.
I agree with you. That's what I said earlier.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just pushing a point. I'm not arguing with you.
Said I mistaken. He gave you your praises at the beginning.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta make some type. You have to provide a value for a man. Like you, I'm just being honest. You and these attitudes and your job and your career, that ain't enough. It's not. You stop telling women this. No one care. A real man, the man you talking about, he don't give a fuck. He providing these things. He willing to sacrifice for the woman he loves. What value are you bringing? You are not enough. The same way me just laying on your couch having this PlayStation 5 on hot ain't enough. Ooh, I just like him for him, girl. Get the fuck out of here. Let's play some bills real quick. Dedicated to my children's future. Salute and respect to the panel. Sunday Energy. They talking about you, Hank. Randy K. Good morning, everyone. What if in a marriage serious relationship and a man is off on his What if in a marriage serious relationship and a man is off on his potential? Why are you marrying him off potential, sis?
Maybe she's young.
I'm just asking a question, though.
I think she's saying, when she say he's off on his potential, meaning working. A man is off on his. Is he working towards that? What if in the marriage he's working towards his potential? Is that what she mean by off in his potential?
Not sure. Hey, Randy K, put it. Clarify in the chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. We'll definitely answer that question. I'm gonna keep that one starred. John O, the Euros, appreciate you. You said you hear what I'm saying. Keep on keeping on. We got you, bro. Sharon, good. What's good, sis? With the super sticker, $10. We appreciate you. Christian Norwood said, women telling other women to weaponize sex like waiting 90 days, shaking my damn head. Weaponizing sex is ground for a divorce and a marriage for a reason. She's not waiting 90 days for Chris Brown. That's a fact. In most cases.
When you're dating, you can wait as long as you want to because it's your body.
Right. We're not talking about marriage. That's different. When you're married, yes, you should not be holding out on sex with your husband. But we're talking about dating. He's not your husband.
My boy Mike in the building. What's good? He's there. Ricky trying to box 12 rounds. Hey, man, we just doing what we do, bro. Let's see. Anybody else? Y'all still want to talk? Y'all got anything else on this? We're going kind of fast today, so I don't know if y'all anybody want to expound further on this.
Weaponize. Why do people say you're weaponized because you don't want to open your legs to every man that blows your way? I don't understand that.
It's the man mindset of thinking that they're entitled to a woman's vagina. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think that's.
If you have a high body count, make it make sense.
No, my thing is this. Look, fellas, y'all. Why do I keep having to say this to y'all? You can't buy steak at McDonald's. Which part of that don't y'all understand, bruh? Right? Okay, so let me break it down to y'all like this. Yeah, a lot of y'all consider yourselves HVMs, high value males. High value man. I don't subscribe to that shit. I think a high value man is a man of integrity, a man has honor, a man that stands on his shit, a man that does what he says, right? But let's say again, the money, because money is the motive for everybody, obviously, right? So you expecting a girl to hit you on a first date, right? You expecting the girl to let you hit on the first date, but then say y'all worried about bodies?
Did you hear what I said?
If you look, and this is what I'm saying, right? You so fly, you the man, can't no girl resist you. Your swagger is impeccable, right? So if you a high value man and you in the top 1%, you should expect every woman to be a hoe. Because if she around with you and the type of man you are, you know, HVM, big ball and shot calling, right? Every dude she with ain't waiting for no pussy.
Did you hear what I said?
So maybe, just maybe, you in a lane that you shouldn't be in. Maybe, just maybe, you shopping at the wrong stores. Again, you do not get steak at McDonald's. Take your ass to Steak 48. Y'all not making sense, bro. And this is why I say to men, if this is the way you thinking, this the way it is, y'all liars too. Y'all some fucking liars, bro. The same way they can't have it all, you can't have it all. If you want a girl that's a virgin, bro, she gonna have some shit that you gotta deal with. Right? You gonna have to wait for the box because she not giving up the box to every single dude. You gonna have to prove yourself to get her box. Again, marry her. Right? Y'all don't make no sense, bro. And then at the same faction, they'll come out here and say, this why these women, they doing this and that. They doing that because that's what y'all expect. Right? We both out here playing in this game. Somebody got to be an adult. So stop making excuses that y'all say females make, because that's what y'all doing. That's what y'all sound like to me when y'all say that shit. Any woman has the right to stop giving out her box like it's going off for sale. Any woman has the right. But again, for her to get chosen, what value are you presenting to me as a man past your box? The pussy is free, but the crack costs money nowadays. Y'all weird, bruh. And just say it, and I'm just being honest with y'all. Just say it that you ain't looking to get married. Get the fuck out these conversations where people trying to tell y'all, hey, how to have a healthy relationship. Y'all just here selling wolf tickets and being part of the sounding boards. Get the fuck out of here. Right? I don't believe in one-way relationships for anybody. Y'all both should be benefiting from being with each other. And that's going to cost both of y'all something.
The truth of the fact, speaking to what you just said in terms of value, I can honestly say that my value has gone up since I got married to my husband and vice versa, because there was things in me that he saw potential in that I didn't necessarily see in myself. And because of that, he poured into that aspect of me to make me better. And then vice versa, there were certain things in him that I saw a value and I wanted to encourage that. And so I would definitely say before I married him, before I met, you know, maybe that's why I'm 100 now. I probably was a 5. And he took me at that 5 and added to me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm at that 100. So I can appreciate him for that, and vice versa. I think when you find your mate, if you're not becoming a better person with that person that you're with, then you've done something wrong. He's told me, he's like, actually not too long ago, he's like, I need you. That made me feel so good because it lets me know that I continue after all of these years, 19 years married, 26 years together, like that I still hold value to him, and vice versa. And if y'all not rocking like that, something's wrong. You should always be, your mate should be your reflection. And if you don't like what you see in your mate, then that means there's some work you need to do on yourself.
I think Shan Monet said it earlier when she was saying like about stop waiting till after you have sex with somebody to get to know somebody. And that's what I mean by the 90 days. I'm not saying it's 90 days and then, oh, we're going to have sex. I'm saying those 90 days, because sometimes it doesn't even last 2 weeks, to be honest with you. Those 90 days are for both of you to ask vetting questions, to get to know each other, to go on dates, to date each other, to ask questions like, do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? You know, if you got in this situation, how would you handle it? If I got pregnant by you, would you expect me to get an abortion? Asking hard questions that you can't ask once you start having sex with somebody because it confuses you. It confuses you.
And I would even add on to that because I agree with that, Andy. And during that 90 days, I think Ricky was saying there are things like you have to add value to a man's life. You can show him that you can add value to his life without even opening your legs. Make his life easier. There are things you can be doing around his house in different areas of his life to let him know that he cannot live without you. Because that's really what you have to prove. Can he live without you? And if he feels like, oh my God, like I love this woman being around, my life is so much easier with this woman around, you may have a winner. Who knows?
Well, let me ask you this: 90 days. Why does it take 90 days to have these conversations?
It doesn't take 90 days. I'm saying you have up to 9. That's what I'm saying. Y'all are hearing the number thing. And I just said, sometimes it doesn't even take that long. It could take 2 weeks. In 90 days is if I'm like for instance, I had a young man that we would go out on dates once a week. He had a busy schedule. I had a busy schedule. So it happened to fall that way where we're only seeing each other one time a week. And that's our time to hang out, get to know each other, go on a date, blah, 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 whatever. It quickly adds up to the 90 days. But after 90 days,
so
if
y'all
me and
gonna
you
waste a man's time for 90 days. Is that what we're doing?
Can I finish before you?
I thought you was done.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't.
Ahead,
so before the 90 days is for you to pivot out. So like after 90 days, if you haven't gotten in a relationship with this person and it's still you're dating, you're still doing this, you're still doing that, you don't like this person for real. You don't really see yourself because it doesn't even take all that long. But if at 90 days, if y'all have not progressed or moved towards anything, you need to let it go. Both of you. You need to move on because y'all are not for each other. That's what I'm saying when I say 90 days. 90 days is a fair ballpark. For some people, it's sooner. For people who like to take their time and whatever, really get to know a person, really vet and all that stuff, that's a good ballpark. After 90 days on a job, you get your benefits package. You don't get it on day one.
Go ahead, Hank.
Yeah, I'm not wasting no 90 days with these heifers, man. Y'all heifers ain't worth shit.
You got to stop hanging around
90 goddamn days. I'm not waiting on 90 days.
Talking that talk, but
no.
Way.
First of all, I don't know what type of dudes y'all deal with. I'm not waiting on 90 days. I'm gonna know, like I said, within the third date. I'm gonna know your credit score. I'm gonna know your credit history. I'm gonna know every goddamn thing. Because I'm not gonna wait once a week to just because I'm going out on a date or take you out to dinner to even have these questions. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna do my own investigation in between time and the meantime. I'm going to talk to you. We're going to talk every day, and I'm gonna find out something new every day about you before these 90 days. I'm gonna know everything that I need to know within a 2-week time frame. Everything. and I'm gonna move on forward. Because y'all women talk too goddamn much. Like I said, y'all talk too goddamn much. I'm gonna ask a few questions, and you're gonna give me your whole life history. Yeah, I don't know your body count and not even actually know the real number, but I'm gonna tell by the way you talk, the way you act, the way you move. Your social media tells your whole life story, and I'm gonna sit back and watch.
You never waited for nobody, Hink?
Hell, so what I need to wait for you for? Y'all got the standard model. All y'all got pussy. I'm gonna move on to the next.
Wait, but see
what I need to wait for you for to get a nut.
Good luck with that, because you're gonna end up with somebody who gonna like that is not a good philosophy to have.
No, he has somebody, so he already has somebody. But what I was gonna say, right. I'm looking in the chat and I see now this is what I was talking about. 90 days and you already got a kid. Shit, I ain't no fool. Ain't nobody waiting 90 days. Ain't nobody, like that is my point.
And I was married.
The fact that people, if somebody wants to change, they have to set different standards for themselves. They have to set parameters. They have to set standards. The 90 days isn't necessarily for you as the man. The 90 days is for her to determine whether or not you are worth what she has to offer. And with women, when we're having sex, we become attached. So in order to avoid that, so we can see things for what they truly are, not what you're saying, but given time to see if what you're saying matches up, we don't need to be mixing sex in that. We don't, because it begins to get confusing, because now we get attached to you and you may not be the one that we need to be with. So respect that night. If you don't want to wait the 90 days, fine, then neither one of us lose anything. You move on to the next, and I'm still straight. You know, I haven't given up, you know, the box to you or to make this bond with you that you never wanted. So nobody loses in that situation. In the background.
You gotta mute up. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. Men are on here talking about, I ain't waiting on 90 days, on to the next one. It ain't worth it. Oh, you already had sex before? Man, please, if you already had sex, you shouldn't be telling nobody to wait. No, it's that woman's vagina. She chooses to set what parameters and standards she has for when she's giving up her vagina. It doesn't matter whether she had kids, not have kids, had sex or not have sex. She can set her own standards around what she wants to do with her vagina. Now, whether you agree with it or not is something different. Move on to the next. But if those are the standards she has, then you got to respect that standard. That's it.
I have a question.
Nobody say they're gonna disrespect the standard. And I'm gonna look here. If you want to try to make a man wait, then make him wait. But don't be mad if he's moving on. Don't feel like you have some type of attachment to the man because he's out there having sex. Because guess what? We have no ties together.
Well, I have a question. Miss Taken, do you think women should date multiple men? Do you think while she's doing those 90 days, should she be with other men too?
It depends on if she's dating with a purpose. If she's dating with a purpose and this is the guy that she thinks that she wants to be with as her husband or what have you, then I don't think that she should be dating other people. She needs to be focused on that so she can really be using those 90 days to focus on if what he's saying is matching up with what he's doing. Are the things that I'm looking for specifically, is he showing that to me now throughout this vetting period? I think if you're vetting, nobody else should be involved. But if you're just dating to date, then by all means, then that doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you have 90 days and you are dating to date.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Because you showing me it's showing you out in the streets. I'm not waiting on the woman out in the street.
I agree with that. That's exactly my point. I think that whole 90-day thing is about trying to date with a purpose, trying to vet.
Okay, Mommy Love, you go, and then we got Jay after that.
Oh, yeah, so that's why I feel like a lot of women get confused, because you see it on like TikTok, you see it on, it's just everywhere. Like a lot of these relationship coaches, women telling other women, date 3 men at a time. It's like, okay, you holding the coochie, but you're not letting him hold his wallet. You're not saying, okay, let's do something small. I don't want you to spend money on me because I don't know if I want you. And I feel like a lot of women need to start doing that too. Like, okay, look, you don't have to take me out on no fancy date. Look, let's just go to a Smoothie King. Let's go on a gym day. Let's do this. You got women out here just finessing 3 men at a time. And I saw this, like, and it's so crazy that these relationship coaches teaching our generation these so-called standards. You know, get this high value man. It don't matter if you don't have anything. It doesn't matter. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like with the 90-day rule, if you're going to do the 90-day, like you said, Miss Taken, like, make sure that this is somebody that you're going to be with. But you got a lot of women out here just breaking men's pocket, and they're not giving up the box. They're not doing nothing. They barely want to take some back. I mean, but as soon as he say, okay, let's go to this dinner, then they down the ride. So I just feel like a lot of women just need to prioritize themselves more, because in most cases, you kind of devalue yourself by thinking that way. Not just with your vagina, just your mind too, the way you think. You devalue yourself with the shit that you say, the way that you think. The people you hang around yourself with can devalue yourself. Not just your coochie. You can look at your friend, look at how you are as a mom, and you can devalue yourself. You know?
I think to quantify it, you know, I don't think it should be quantified. 90 days, I mean, you know, everybody has their system, but I don't think it should be quantified, because I think it's the quality of the interactions and what you're learning. You know, some people, me, myself, there's certain things that I'm not moving into unless I have a feeling and I know certain things. And certain things can't be found out like that. And certain people aren't going to be forthcoming with all that information because they may have, you know, hangups about a situation. You know what I mean? So I just look for little red flags, you know, and do your research, women and men. Do your research on who you're dating. Find out that information. See what them credit scores are. See what the who that cell phone's name is in. You know what I'm saying? Why your cell phone coming up with this name? Why is your last name on your license different than the last name you told me was your last name? Like certain things, because it's stuff attached to that. And those things that are hidden or that are attached to those questions that you're going to find out that you need to ask. Because a lot of times we don't know what to ask. We're telling each other what we want, you know, the best parts of each other. But you want to find out why your name not on your phone. You know, why is your cell phone not in your name? It's in your ex-husband's name. Okay, well, what's going on there? Why is your phone still in his name? Are y'all still cool? Are y'all separate? You know, you a lot of times you don't know what to ask. You need to figure it out. And that's why I say it's the quality of the interactions. What are you disclosing? What do you really know versus what they're hiding from you? So
At what point do you think those questions should be asked? Only reason I'm asking that is because just starting out, it's just certain information that I'm not going to divulge to you. I'm not giving you that information to go check my credit score. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's just an example of what you're saying. It's just certain things that come in time. And I think that's where part of that 90-day come from. Because in the first, 15 days, I'm not divulging that kind of information to you. I don't know you enough yet to even feel comfortable enough to share certain things with you at that point. Not that I wouldn't be honest about it. We're just not at the stage where I'm ready to share that kind of information.
But you'll give me that ass, though.
Understood.
After that 91st day, let me finish. 91st day, you'll give me that ass because I waited my 90 days, but I can't have your credit score. That makes sense to me.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing.
One mic, let Jay go.
But see, that's the thing, you know, we're quantifying 90 days. In 90 days, you may not even know what questions to ask. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you're serious, you're going to do what you need to do to find out whether you're wasting your time. You know, you don't have to divulge your credit score information. You know, who knows what the person has access to. But somebody that's serious, somebody that's trying to protect themselves, they're going to vet. And you can vet by asking the person questions, or you can listen and, you know, research accordingly. So, you know, that's what I say about that.
or watch. But yeah, I mean, the 90 days thing, that's the only reason why. That's why I said it's not subjective. This is for me personally. You don't have to take it with a grain of salt. I'm telling you guys what works for me. And I held this standard for my ex-husband as well. I got married. I got a ring out of it. You know why? Because I told him this is the standard. I'm not deviating from it. I'm not living with the guy. I'm not renting out my womb. I grew up in a Christian household. These are the standards that my grandmother and all of them have put on me. My grandmother was married and I got married. I didn't stay married due to, whatever, but I got married and that was my objective. That was my goal. So for me, it worked. Not everybody else, just for me.
Yeah, I just feel like men shouldn't spend real money on women until you actually actively like dating them. I feel like, just trying to get to know a woman. I just feel like why get upset because a man don't want to take you on a fancy date on the first date? Like you don't even know if you like this man. He don't know if he really like you. So why should he spend all this money and gift you all these things when y'all just trying to get to know each other? I feel like a man should not just be putting his wallet out there until you guys are in this 90-day cycle, whatever the 90 days is. I just feel like a man should not just be, just giving you his all because y'all just getting to know each other.
I mean, I think that during the 90 days, it's not about just going to restaurants and and eating the whole. I
didn't say going to restaurants. I'm saying it's not about restaurants. What are you talking about?
Oh, but you saying spending money.
I'm talking about you can spend money on dinner. You can spend money on trips. I'm not just saying.
Let me just tell you this. If a woman is feeling you, she's going to spend money on you.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying to you is, if a woman is feeling you, even in that 90 days, you're going to be able to figure it out because, yes, she's going to want to do things for you. She's going to cook for you. She's going to bring it over to you. There are so many things that she's going to be giving unto you. Okay?
Do you know what? A man will wait 90 days to have sex with you and still leave your ass. That's what women need to understand. You can do all of these things. You can pinpoint. You can find him on social media. You can go and figure out who his ex is. You can do all these things. Hold the box and this and that. A man will still use it and take advantage of you within these 90 days. So that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't even want a man to put out these things until you know for sure that he wants you and you want him and you want him. If like a man would do anything for some coochie, we know this. Everybody just said, well, most of the people just said that this coochie is power. It's power. Pussy can make you a side chick. Good coochie can make you a side chick. A good coochie can make you a wife. Which one you want? So that's what I'm saying. It's not about a man. This 90 days about going to restaurants. It's just a simple fact is who is this man you chose? You chose this man to spend 90 days. So you telling me you finna spend 90 days on a man that you don't even know you fucking want?
No, I think you're just getting okay, sweetheart. I think that you're spending 90. First of all, if you don't want a person, don't spend 90 days on anything. Don't waste your time or his. But what she's saying is, if you find an interest in this guy and you're like, oh my God, I like this guy. You telling all your friends about this guy. The 90 days is spending to get to know him, to make sure he is what you think he is. That's all the 90 days is.
But it was just saying
it's not to play with him. It's not to waste his time. It's of great interest. Like you really have interest in this guy. And I really want to know more about him.
The thing that I don't like about the whole concept, y'all not thinking about the man. It's all about what you want.
No, ma'am. I clearly
want to make him wait 90 days.
No, ma'am.
What are you to the man? What? And Rika just said, and
no,
it's okay. What value do you have?
We are goddamn
make him wait 90 days.
One mic. Go ahead.
What did I say earlier?
Let her finish her point.
It's the thing is, what value do you bring? What value will you bring to this man to make him wait 90 days? Who are you? What are you? What will you benefit of this man waiting 90 days?
So I think that you missed the part that I stated that during that 90 days, I do remember speaking earlier and saying during that 90 days, you need to show him that you are of value in his life. That's why 90 days is just not for you to just sit back and chill. Maybe you're not giving him sex, but there are other ways to show that you are bringing value to his life. And that would be a great opportunity to show him that he cannot live without you, or he should not live without you. Okay? So it's not like you're just sitting here you are absolutely giving as well. It's just not the vagina. You're giving in other ways. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it was just you had said the 90 days is not
And
about
women can plan dates and take guys out on dates too and pay for dates.
That's why I was like, you were saying like the 90 days, it's not about restaurants and this. Now I'm like, no, I'm not talking about spending money on restaurants. I was like, you spend money on gifts, like men spending like money that they work for to court a woman, to get this woman to be like, look, I'm for you, you for me type thing. I just feel like a man should not be spending that type of money on a woman, and she don't even know if you gonna even be with her after these 90 days. You don't know what's going on in her head these 90 days.
I don't think like that though.
But most women still be dating outside of those 90 days with that man. Let's keep this shit real. You got women still out here, might be still in love with an ex, still letting him come over. While you with these 90 days, while you got this man wait, you got some women that do it. It might not be you, but let's keep it real.
I know you're right.
You might got some friends that say, oh, she in love this man, she making it, but she's still out here fucking Tyrone. She's still out here out here doing these things. So it's like you got men out here really trying to figure out, damn, who is she? Is she really doing what she's saying she's doing? So it's like
90 days for him too. He need to figure it out. Maybe he can go. And in them 90 days,
like you just gotta keep it real. Like I just feel like if you want to really fix yourself and work on yourself, put the work in. Show that man, because like somebody said, a man can know a mile away. He know a mile away that you ain't shit. He know. You can put on that facade. You can act like, oh, I'm just a pretty princess and the this and that, and that man know you ain't shit.
Yeah.
What are the signs?
Within them 90 days, that shit is gonna show.
Ask the question, Jay. Ask the question again, Jay.
What are the signs that she ain't shit in that first 90 days? Like, what's two of them?
Ladies?
I don't really, let me look at hoe-like behavior. She's always out, like, and don't get me wrong. I think women should be able to enjoy their lives. Absolutely. But she out every weekend.
I mean, okay, I don't think that because it depends on their age bracket too. Like, not trying to be funny, but I'm in my 20s still. And that's how I socialize with my friends in my friends group. That's what we do. Does that mean that I'm going home with somebody at the end of the night? No, I'm coming bring my ass back to my apartment. But I'm hanging out and enjoying my life. I think that women who don't have an interest in you, it's all about her. She's not asking any questions about you. She doesn't care about you. She's trying to get a to-go plate at the restaurant y'all are at on your dime. She, she's not really asking about your plan, your whatever you might have for yourself. She just doesn't give a shit about you. She cares about where you're going to take her next, what kind of money you're going to spend on her, and stuff like that. She has no real interest in getting to know you. The conversation's very short, very dead at dinner or on the date, and she doesn't let you touch her. And I don't mean like in a way like she doesn't let you touch her, like, but like if she's not doing the small things, like, like you want to touch her leg or something, lean in closer, she's leaning back. She's not engaged in you. She does not like you for real. She doesn't. She doesn't want you to touch her. You probably give her the ick. She's there for the food. She's there for whatever she's there for, and she's going to move on.
That's true. But I was still talking. But I mean, everything she said is absolutely true. It's the body language for sure. If it seems like she's not attracted to you, it's probably because she's not attracted to you. And also, like I say, in the 90 days, a woman who really likes you is going to show you by little gestures. She may do something like remind you of something, or she'll listen to what you're saying, and then she'll repeat it like later on. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if it's something that you like, she'll take a hold to that and then make it her own. Does that make sense to the ladies on the panel? I'm trying to think of like deeper things that, you know, women do when they have an interest in you. Like if you like football and she doesn't, all of a sudden she'll start liking football. She'll learn about that damn sport. You know, that's just what women do. They may do something simple like maybe bring something over, thoughtful little gifts or whatever, you know. So that's just my opinion.
I could just say from my own experience, guys, like, you know, into my husband, there were things kind of like what you were saying that I made it a point to do for him, versus when it wasn't somebody that I was interested in, it was a point of what you can do for me. So I think it shifts. When I like met my husband, well, we were in college, but you know, I come to think of it, and he actually told me this later on, like our relationship went through stages. In the beginning, he wasn't doing ish, you know, for me, other than spending time with each other, having conversations and things like that. But on the flip side, I realized that there was things that I was doing for him that I didn't notice. It was just who I was. We would be in a lab, you know, he had a paper due. And I'm typing it for him because I knew how to type fast. But I'm like, no, I'm not writing it for you. You come to me with, you know, whatever your paper is, I'll type it up for you. And we'll hang out in the lab and I'm typing up the paper. Or I had my meal card. I wasn't going to eat, you know, as much. He, you know, in college you broke. He didn't really have, you know, a bunch of money to get the food on campus. So when he swing through campus, I happen to be there. Here, you can have my meal card to get something to eat. So those were things that I was doing, not really realizing that it was a big deal to him. It was just how I was moving. So for him, he was able to see certain things in me that were of value to him. Oh, she's going to look out. You know, if I need something, I see that she's going to, you know, help me out. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing that for him, but I wasn't doing that for anybody else. So, and during that whole time, it wasn't like I didn't even get as much as a slice of pizza for him at that stage. But when I became the girlfriend, I saw a transition in the things that he began to do for me. And I think a lot of times when we first meet, we are automatically looking at what the other person can do. But when you're trying to date with a purpose and intent, it is about what value can I add to this person's life, going, you know, both ways. That was just my experience. I don't know if that's everybody's experience, but I saw different stages in our relationship as it progressed in terms of the way that we treated and interacted with each other.
Okay. My take would be, how do you know, as you guys' lives become intertwined? She makes you a part of her life. You become a priority. You become her focus. Right? I don't give a damn is that when she goes something to eat, she call you and say, "You hungry? Can I pick you up something to eat?" Right? So these are things you should look for. Again, I honestly don't believe it's a woman has a right to control access to her body. I don't care what no man say. Right? That's your body. You're going to be responsible for whatever comes in it or comes out of it. Right? But what I'm saying is this: why are we even in these relationships where on the first date or first interaction, right, that it's not saying, "Hey, look, I'm trying to get married. I ain't playing with you out in these streets." Right? The truth of the matter is that y'all don't want to admit y'all too involved with casual relationships. This is y'all standard. Like I keep saying, y'all liars, y'all asking for something y'all really don't want, because if you did, you'll move differently. Right? So again, if you okay with the casual relationships, understand the game has to be played. Right? But if you guys are actually looking for somebody to be with, you understand that you're going to be looking for certain things and putting certain things out in the atmosphere to get answered appropriately and at that time. And if it's not, and you looking for a certain thing, you're going to move on post haste. Right? So, but to say every woman or every man is providing this would be a lie, because if that was the case, we wouldn't be having these conversations. Right? So it's really about what you need and what you want and what you're looking for. Right? So again, if you're constantly in these these tay-to-tays with these certain relationships, guess what? That's exactly what you're looking for. That's exactly what you want. And don't complain about the game because you in it, right? Don't complain about the game because you win it. Let's play some bills. Peaches, $2. She said, Hink, so do you know if you marrying her in 2 weeks, good sir? Hink? Hello? Hello?
You there, Hink?
She said, so do you know if you're marrying her in 2 weeks?
You can. I know if she's marriage material within 2 weeks.
And at that point, would your effort move differently? Would you change, right? As far as your approach, I should say.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So if she said, if you saw she was marriage material, but she had a standard of waiting the 90 days, are you going to wait the 90 days? If you think she's marriage material within those 2 weeks?
Hell yeah. I don't have, if she's marriage material, hell yeah, why wouldn't I?
See?
What makes a woman marriage material within, like, what are things that stand out? Because I've never heard this from a man's perspective. So I would love to know, Hink, like, what are things that stand out that a woman does in those 2 weeks that you're like, okay, because 2 weeks is quick. I want to know, what is a woman doing that's like.
Yeah, that's a problem. Y'all don't ask the right questions.
No, that's what I'm asking. Like, I'm asking.
You gotta ask the right questions. You got to get the information within, like I said, by the third date, I'm gonna know her credit score. Now, mistake talking about, I ain't giving up my damn credit score, but you'll give up your body within a 3 to 4 month period.
And what he's saying is this, to clarify: if you're a woman and we're both having the conversations that we're looking to be real and be married, right? And I'm someone you are attracted to and are showing the traits on a day-to-day basis, again, because we're involved in each other's lives, right? I'm fucking with you. Right? Why is there a problem you wouldn't release that information if you're being intentional? Because none of us have time to waste.
Like you said, I'm 47. I'm first, I'm gonna ask you, what is your feelings about marriage? You know what I'm saying? Those are one of the first questions I'm gonna ask. How do you feel? What do you think about it? You know, another thing is, can you get on my plan as far as one pot? Are you with that? If you are, you got a chance. If you're not, then I'm gonna leave your ass at a goddamn restaurant, because these are some of the things that I require. And if you're not gonna fulfill their requirements, I'm not gonna waste my time, and I'm definitely not gonna waste my money.
Question.
So with 2 weeks, you got the potential to be a possible wife.
That's what I'm saying.
There's certain things that already attracted me to you, right? You don't wear a lot of makeup. You don't wear the wigs. You don't wear them eyelashes. You're not with the weed shit. That already attracted me. So, okay, potential. Now let's go a little deeper than the surface thing that you have to offer, besides just your beauty. And I'm gonna ask those certain questions. And if those certain questions are answered in the right way, and you're showing me not only with your words, but with your actions, oh, okay, now we in a good place.
So in 2 weeks, you feel like you can peep her actions enough?
Look here, man. In 2 weeks, she shows the potential. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it. She shows potential. I could put her in that category.
Yeah.
Okay, she's not a hoe. You in that lady category. Oh, you a hoe. You go in the hoe category. And that's why that's the box I'll put you in. And you know, either you can be taken out of the woman or the lady category and put into the whole category, because you was just all conversation. You was just all talk. Oh, but your action speaks. You know, the way you move and way you carry yourself tells me you're following through with what you say. There you are.
That's a good question. I mean, straight up, that's a good question, because I don't know what to ask within 2 weeks to verify if someone is marriage material. Even at this point, you know, I can ask what I think I should be asking, but you know, you never really know.
I'm saying in 2 weeks, I understand if you worth my time or not. To make it simple, in 2 weeks, I understand if you worth my time. Right? Because we understand that as comedians out here, bro. We understand. This is why I keep telling y'all, ladies, we understand. Y'all think men are crazy and all point. We understand the game better than y'all. We really do. Right. Again, what we're looking for is certain traits. We're looking for certain signals that's let us know that you about something. And we understand that. Look, that's like, and this is no diss, right? When she said, I don't want to be on the phone with you all day. Right. It ain't about being on the phone with me all day. It's about being able to contact you when I want to. It's about me having access to you in your life. Right. So if you can't make a space for me, why should I make a space for you?
Did you hear what I said?
Right? What y'all don't really understand, if y'all really want to catch a man, I should charge y'all for this shit. Right? If y'all really want to catch a man, y'all got to understand the art of reciprocity. Right? Again, a lot of these conversations that we have, y'all one way. It's what my career, right? My kids, what I want to do, how I feel. Fuck your feelings, bruh. You ain't the only person in this relationship. But that's the way y'all frame it. That's the way y'all make it out. That's why when it comes to when the shit's over, y'all always blaming it on a man and putting it on one party. I have yet to have a one-way conversation with a woman in person and she break up with somebody and she say she was the issue.
And the crazy thing is that when I had looked at research, it was saying most women who had divorced their first husband regretted it. Because when they got in their second relationship, they realized that everybody is just going to come with their own set of issues, and they wish that they had stayed in the first relationship and worked it out. So we're quick to jump ship when stuff goes, not in the direction that we want, only to realize later on that we made a wrong decision. You're on mute, Ricky.
I'm on mute. I know I need to make I'm on mute t-shirt. We're about to pay these bills and get to the meat, as JR like to say. Milton said, benefits on the job. Come on, Andy. You got that 90-day crap from Steve Harvey. You drank the Kool-Aid. There is no set time. It's only determined on how much quality time both people spend with each other. I think that's fair. Ms. Deb said, ask Mommy Three Loves how fast you should give it up. And remember that they tried to box you in a corner the other day on body count.
Yes, indeed. And that's the thing with me. That's why I don't have a high body count. Because first of all, one, I'm not going to even talk to a guy I'm not even attracted to sexually. A lot of women don't like to admit that, but it's good that, Lord Jesus. A lot of women use the good guy and all that, but if I'm not sexually attracted to a guy, I'm not going to even talk to him. Like I said, my first date is going to be a coffee shop, Starbucks, or, we're going to meet at the gym. We're going to do somewhere I can catch a vibe with you. If it's not there with him, if it's not there with me, like, I'm not going to waste nobody's time. So if I choose to give the box up in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that's my L, that's my body. So, but that's why I don't have a high body count. So.
Thank you. The purpose of all relationships is you go there to give. You're there to help each other grow, become more, and to meet each other's needs. Milton M. He said, men definitely know if a woman is not wife material in 2 weeks. Yeah, I agree. Y'all got anything else on this before we move on? Ladies, gentlemen? No? Okay, we slide into the next one. With that being said, let's get to the meat of the conversation. Once you make a man's life easy, blah, blah, blah.
That's what $1 million do. It get rid of everything. Get rid of all those domestic $10 an hour chores you got to do every day. Bro, if I come in the house, I don't even want to see my wife folding clothes. Why you want to see your wife folding clothes for? Bro, she raising the baby, bro. No, you good. We good. They had enough of that. That's what I'm saying. They not their grandmothers, bro. Grandma. What grandmothers do on Sundays? The entire Sunday. They dedicate
cleaning, dishes, everything.
And for some reason, like, we just drag that on. We do. Like, we supposed to do that. And then we got some men out here who are saying, no, I can't marry her, bro. She don't cook and clean. And
right.
Nobody want to do that. Your grandma, first of all, our grandma ain't want to do that shit, bro. My grandma had 12 kids.
My grandma had 9.
Yeah, you see, and they had to do all that with 9 kids. Why you want to bring that traumatic experience to your wife to do the same thing? The thing is, that energy gonna come on to me. If she got to cook and clean all day, I'm gonna come home after I just got finished working, and she I'm like, damn, bro, like, how can I fix this? And that's when I started hiring all this all the cleaners and all the people around the house.
And I think a lot of dudes don't realize that once you make a woman's life, especially if it's a woman that's really rocking with you, y'all for each other, once you make her life easier, she's, we always talking about peace. We need peace of mind. She's gonna be that peace that you talking about once you make her life that simple and easy.
Yeah, but she can't be your peace if she just doing all these chores and shit, right?
You do sound like some goddamn clowns.
Yeah.
Hold on, fellas.
Okay, my bad. I'm gonna stand down.
Yeah, Shantae, what you think? Oh, she probably went to the bathroom. Mommy 3 Love, what you think of the video?
I was cooking.
Hopefully somewhere folding some clothes.
Hold on. Go ahead, Shantae. What you think
I
of the
got
video?
stuff on the stove.
Don't burn the food. Don't burn the food,
I
man.
run back and forth. My bad.
Did you see the video, Shantae?
I did see the video. I took the camera with me, but I didn't want y'all to be in the kitchen.
All right.
So,
Can I get your take, please?
listen, men may not like this, but it's true. You know, when women are stressed, they act like they're stressed. You know, I mean, there it is with the sex thing. Men like to have sex when they are stressed. Women are the exact opposite. They don't like to have sex when they're stressed. That's like that's like psychology. Like that's written in stone. Okay. But I do think that if you are providing these things for her and she's less stressed, she will bring back peace. Now you got people who just not peaceful. Not talking about that chick who just got an attitude. That's just her personality. She's just loud. We're not talking about that at all. We're talking about a great woman who, if you relieve her of some of her duties, well, not of her duties. I mean, it depends on because I didn't hear, does she have a job? You know, because if she doesn't have a job, then that stuff should be done before you even get there. Or because I heard him say he hires help. So if she does have a job and you both have jobs, and then there's help that comes in to clean the house and do everything, then yes, I think that will set up a situation where she's not as stressed and it will provide the peace. When women are mad, you tend to know that they're mad. They may not come out and say they're mad, but they walk around with attitude, you know, like a chip on their shoulder, you know. So yes, I agree.
Mommy 3 Love.
Man, I mean, I agree. Like, you know, in most cases, you know, women they do tend they have sex off emotion. So if you make them sad or they upset with some things, they do that. They, you know, they think the house becomes so unhappy. But let me say this: it was so crazy because me and Hank was on a panel, and you remember when that guy got mad because I said that. If I had to call my daddy to cut the grass, if I got to call somebody else to come and fix something in that household, it could bring some drama. And one thing that I learned about the situation is you're going to hire some help and you're going to hire these things. Just remember, like, if you hire another man to cut your grass, he might be cutting some grass inside too. Meaning, if that man got to call somebody else to come and clean his house, remember what else can be cleaned up too. Because sometimes they can throw off the relationship. Now, if, like he said, like she said, like we don't know if she got a job, we don't know what she got going on, but that those type of things should be done. And I feel like nowadays women should want a clean house. They should want these things to just be done anyway. And man, we lost y'all.
I don't think that, let me ask you a question, Mommy. I think that you're right. Women should want a clean house. Like I would like for my house to be clean. I go, right. But do you know that when you're cleaning after multiple people, it does become stressful, especially if you worked all day and then you come home and you're having to.
Yeah, that's why I said we didn't know if she was working or she didn't have a job. So I just didn't know, like, okay, if she's a working woman. You know, it can be a time where a man could be so, you know, a man could be like, baby, let me help you fold them clothes. You got a lot of men that he don't mind doing those things. Like, it's a lot of men that come and he'll help her fold them clothes. Baby, let me help you do this. Let me help you do that. You know, but it's hard to answer that because I don't know if this lady is working or if she just sitting at home not doing it.
Right. So what you got mistaken?
I would say it goes both ways. I definitely do think that he, you know, him making her life easier will also make his life easier. But I think the goal is to make his life easier too. Because I find that when I'm doing, I don't necessarily have to ask for him to do. When I'm giving effort. So before, like early on in our relationship, it was me feeling like kind of like what they explained about their grandparents doing. I was working full time. I was in school full time. We had a young son. You know, I was getting home late. I was still trying to cook dinner because I felt like I had to do it all. But then I'm getting home late, giving baths, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And then it was like, you know, he want to do it. And I'm sitting there like, man, like I just did 8 hours of work, then 4 hours at school, came home, cooked dinner, gave our son a bath, and now I'm tired. And now you're talking about what? And so after having a conversation, for him, what we had to learn about each other was that for him, his mother did it all because she had to. No dad was there. There was nobody else there sharing in those responsibilities. So his expectation was, well, that's what my mom did. But in having those conversations, it was, I can't do it all. I do need help. I need you. If we're in this together, both of us are going to have to, you know, put in to make each other's lives easier. So where we have now, I mean, we don't even have kids in the house now at this point, but like this morning, I got up, I made him breakfast, I cleaned the kitchen, you know, cleaned the house. I did all of those things because on the weekend, I don't have to worry about work. So I have more time to dedicate towards doing the things that he enjoy, you know, that he would want me to do. Same thing in the summer as a teacher. He doesn't have to worry about coming home, dinner's not cooked, things. I look forward to doing those things because I don't have additional things stressing me out. So he does. He gets a summer wife, a weekend wife, but during the week it's different. And he assists. If it's time to cook, he gets home before I do, he starts cooking. If you know there's a bunch of laundry to be done, we'll cycle that out. He get, you know, both of us are responsible for laundry, both of us responsible for dishes because both of us are making the mess. So I find that when you balance it out and both people are doing things, it makes life easier for both. And then you can engage on a different level. Like, you want that sex? Yes, because I don't have to worry about doing the dishes, cleaning the kitchen, because you've already helped with that. So, I mean, that's just been my experience and it's working for us.
Simply Indy.
To be honest with you, my generation, you see this a lot. So like, when I date, because I do have 3 kids, I'm a single mom now. I'm on my own building generational wealth, not only for my kids, but for my family. So for me, I don't just have one foot in the door in one pot. So like, I'm in engineering school, but I'm also going to like real estate events or certain things like that. So if you have a man that's also doing that same thing, y'all have the money. Just like he's not going to go out there and cut grass. Like, he's not going to. He's just not going to do it because he's like, that's a waste of my time. I could just pay somebody $20 to go cut the grass every 2 weeks. And he's not going to argue about it. There's no argument about it. Somebody coming in and doing laundry and folding it up or mopping the floors. I'm not saying like the day-to-day stuff. Like, you're not letting stuff sit for 2 weeks until somebody comes and does it. But like, just the big things. Like, who has time to scrub the baseboards and do all that? Nobody has time to do that. So paying somebody to come in and do that or fold this huge astronomical amount of laundry gives you back your time to be able to study, to be able to do whatever it is, this and that. Or you guys can go on a date because you're not focused on like minor detail. That's just my generation though. I will say we do that. Like, we have house cleaners and the kids go to daycare and go to school and stuff like that. People are not staying home like they used to.
Jay, what you got?
I think it's, for one, I think what Miss Taken said in terms of balance, you know, sharing in the responsibility, that's a big part of it. Because a lot of times one or the other person can end up with a large amount of the burden. And that may actually take time from that may be the case from time to time, that one person is, doing 70% while the other person is doing 30. I mean, to my understanding, that's what happens in a marriage. One person picking up the slack for the other based on whatever's going on. In terms of the video, I mean, I just feel like it's propaganda. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a dude sitting here trying to sell dudes on, you know, accommodating a woman on getting her out of her responsibilities with the hope that the relationship will be better because she don't have to fold no damn towels or wash no damn clothes or make up the bed. That's nonsense. You know what I'm saying? People are who they are. You know what I mean? So you need to be lifting the responsibilities so that you could get to know her better. Y'all have more time to be into each other, figure who each other are so the relationship lasts longer. Shit ain't about folding no towels. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality of it. So if somebody young and impressionable is watching that, it's like, yo, I got to get my money up, yo, because this relationship gonna last if she ain't got to fold them damn towels and make up the bed in the morning. No, that's not it. You know what I mean? So I just feel like it's propaganda. Yo.
Big Hink.
This dude's a goddamn clown, man. Promoting this bullshit. I mean, look here, I speak for the average man, and an average man can't afford for a cleaning service to come into the home and do this bullshit. I don't know who the hell y'all talking to. And if y'all younger generation doing that, y'all some lazy motherfuckers. I feel for my son. Because my son gonna have to marry one of these goddamn tacky heads, these chicken heads that talk like this shit. They got to marry one of these chicks, man. God damn, I feel bad for that boy. Man, we got our work cut out for us young men, us old men. If you dealing with a younger woman and her mindset's like this, leave her trash ass at a goddamn restaurant. Don't go nowhere near it. Because to sit there and pay for somebody to come in and cut my goddamn grass, it ain't $20. I don't know where y'all get y'all yards cut at for $20. Depending on if you got a damn New York City yard where you could cut that some bitch with a weed eater, maybe it is just $20. I got an acre out here in the back, a half acre in the front. And ain't nobody, no yard man gonna just cut my shit for $20 goddamn dollars. There's no way. I'm looking at a $50 yard cut. And that may just be from my backyard or just my
at least
yard. It might be $100 by the time they get done with my, because inflation done went up, gas prices went up, material that he needs to cut my yard with done went up. So there's no damn way. Deuce, please, guys, man, part of your vetting is asking these women, can they cook? And if they are willing to fold clothes, do they believe in gender roles? Let that be the first question you ask. Gender roles. And if they say they're not for it, that restaurant bill, take it and run out with it. Leave her there. Have nothing to do with her. Because there's no way you should be promoting this bullshit, man. I'm disturbed by this shit, man. I am disturbed. Yes, Shantae, go ahead. I know you want a question for me.
Well, I think that the question was his piece. I think that women, I understand what you're saying. I absolutely agree that women should be cleaning their houses. They should be folding their clothes. I personally don't like to pay for anything I gotta do myself because I'm just cheap like that.
It's a bad investment.
But the question itself was to preserve the peace. Like Mistaken said, listen what I'm saying. When people are in stressed out situations, period, and it's all individualized because we all do different things. So my job may not be that stressful, but somebody else's job may be stressful, But I like Mistaken says her husband gets a different woman depending on the day of the week or what the time, the time frame. So if you're like Mistaken's husband and you're helping out and it's like an even exchange, like he's helping out, then I don't think that there should be any complaints. But I don't know that guy was saying that was what was going on in his situation. It sounds like she was doing, and let me just say this, because I know the men are not in their heads. And just like it's things that women don't agree with and with men talk, you have to just understand this is what I'm just telling you from a female's perspective, whether we like it or not, it's from the female's perspective. So with that being said, I'm not saying it's right or it's not right, but in his situation, it doesn't look like he's trying to help. I think his way of saying, okay, I'm helping by just paying somebody to help you. you know. But if you're that guy who does not mind helping your wife out, you know, you see her, if she's overwhelmed, it's a lot of clothes, you got kids running around, then that, you know, that's not you. You know, if your wife is not doing a hard job during the day and you feel like she has the time, then that's not you. But if you do have a wife who works just as hard as you and you see that she's stressed, I would hope that the man in you will want your wife not to be stressed out. That's why some of these women who married be looking stressed as fuck in these marriages.
Because they got to do it by themselves. Well, first of all, you're already blessed because you have a husband. That's your first blessing right then and there. You're not.
Well,
that's a blessing. It is a blessing to have a husband. I know y'all don't think we're shit. I know we're nothing but clutch person to most of y'all, but it's a blessing to have a husband because now you're not facing this world by yourself. First things first, right? That's a blessing. So now, if you have a husband and he's part of, so me taking part of the stress off you is dealing with the kids where you don't have to. So you can go fold them clothes, where you can go wash them dishes, or you can keep the home clean. And it depends on how old the kid is.
That's help. That's helping though, Hank. I'm agreeing with you.
Let me finish. The kid can help you as well, right? The kids can be a part of this cleanup. Now, they may not do the most cleaning the baseboards, okay. But you know what they can do? They can go in there and keep their room clean. They can run the vacuum. Make a game out of it. Make it a situation where it's fun. We can fold clothes. They could be throwing clothes at each other. Hey, but after y'all get done throwing the clothes at each other, I need for y'all to go ahead and fold. It could be a learning process, teaching your young kids how to fold clothes, teaching your kids how to wash dishes.
They were the top matchers in my household when I did laundry. That was their job. Y'all find a matches
like that. Let me tell you what I just don't understand, man. How these people talk about, oh, I'm gonna pay somebody. Why? And like Mama Three Love said, I even talked about, why would you invite a man to come and cut your grass and you sitting there talking about I got better things to do with the time? No, you don't. You know what you're gonna be doing? You're probably in a jacket off to a damn a midget porn.
Midget porn. Oh my
not
god.
The midget.
They're little people, they're not midgets.
Hey, let me say this, right? Why would you want to be with a man that's robbing you of your, that will rob you of your wifehood, rob you of your womanhood, right? So let's answer the question, right? And I think this is how I look at this, right? Why are you with a man that's willing to pay for somebody else to do the work he can help you with? I want y'all to think on that one. Why are you with a man who would rather pay someone to do the work that makes you a wife instead of just helping you with it? Right? See, what y'all don't understand is that when a man is using money to supplement the things you do or to replace the things you do, that means you're easily replaceable.
Did you hear what I said?
We talked about proving yourself to be a wife, making yourself irreplaceable in his life. How is that me spending money to do the shit that you were supposed to do as my wife, making yourself a staple in my home? Huh? Again, y'all allow people to rob y'all of y'all very necessity. So are y'all just for pussy? Are we gonna have the conversation? Because if you're hearing everything that I require you to do or would want you to do as my wife can be paid for, why are you here? That's what I be talking about when y'all put every single value on money. Money is the motive. Y'all don't value human relationships. You don't. You value money more than that. These are the same men that y'all, yeah, he got money to, what's the point? These are not relationships nor marriages. They're business arrangements. And then when she kicking your ass out the door, because what happened? After 5 years and she gets bored.
Did you hear what I said?
And then you wondering why you paying half. Now, while if you a broke nigga, this doesn't apply. But if you're able to provide these type of things on a day-to-day, year-to-year basis, you got the money to get taken off of you. Ladies, how hard is it to do something you were raised to do?
So
we're not being raised to do that anymore, though. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, women are not, like, women are not.
Failed you.
Hold on, but let me just.
Failed you.
Can I really quickly? My mom had me at 15, 16 years old. So my example came from my grandmother. My grandmother is dead now. I was lucky that I did get that exposure, but there's a lot of young girls who were born in the 90s to teen moms or young mothers who didn't have a mother, and they're not being taught those domesticated things. They're being taught the feminist movement stuff, which is get to this bag. You don't need a man for shit. Da 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 da. They're being taught that actively. I'm telling you, like, that's the reality of it. That whole, like, being the wifely skills that we learn, I learned that from my grandma. We're not learning that from our moms anymore like that. A lot of these women, when we talked about it, does a lack of a father breed a masculine woman? No, it's lack of a mother being in her feminine energy. If a mom is a single mom and she's raising a house full of kids and she's having to do both, that's what you're seeing. That's what you're being taught. So now you're growing up and you're repeating that shit.
And like I said, your parents failed you. Your parents failed you if they're not teaching you this shit. If you're not being taught by somebody, your parents failed you. And that's sad.
Well, are you still? I didn't want to interrupt anybody. I think that too, it is how you're raised. Because once I think about it, in my household, my mom's house, that was my granddaddy's house. My grandparents' side, on the other granddaddy's house, he built that house. So that while the women in my family were very ladylike, they cooked. I mean, several meats. Cooked. They cleaned, but they also didn't have to worry about, the provision part. At least from my household, from what I saw. So I think that what we were doing is we're trying to make this mega woman. And the question was, does she provide the peace? Does it come with peace? Because women, I personally don't think that women were designed to be in the workforce as men are. I think that our bodies are totally different. Now, can we do our part? Absolutely. Like, I'm a teacher. So that's a feminine position. But not everyone has a feminine position, And so I do think that it takes a toll on you because you are working outside of what you were made to do. And so when you do that and you come home, it interferes with what you're supposed to do, which is to take care of home. Does that make sense?
Very much so. And to answer the question, once you make a woman's life easier, she's going to bring you peace. I think we both make each other's life easier, right? I think that's the point of being together. But in this example, this idiot used, he's way off base, right? Women, look, let me just say this shit. Fuck it, right? Women have proven in this space and in real life that they hate being bored. A man has to provide some type of excitement for them to be able to be attracted to him. No one wants to be bored. This is the excuse, right? So again, with this dude saying that he's going to provide her with everything that basically will give her something to do, is fucking stupid. It's stupid. What's the point of having a wife when you provide? Look, we supposed to listen to what I'm saying, ladies. I keep saying this. I am supposed to, as a man, I was supposed to provide you with the space to be in your feminine, to be a woman. What does that include? If I'm paying all the bills, what's the problem with you cooking? If I'm paying all the bills, what's the problem with you doing laundry? And I'm getting real tired of this narrative like men don't help, like your husband don't help, like he just coming home, pulling his dick out, slapping it on the table, saying, where's my food? And then suck some dick. We all know life don't go like that. We help each other. You cook, I do the dishes. You clean up, I take out the trash. Where's these narratives coming from? The point is that we're fucking awarding females for being lazy and not being women anymore. That their presence is welcome, that all they have to do is be. This is why I put the responsibility on the men. They out here, y'all, they talk just like females. That's some female shit. That's some feminine shit, bruh. She is a helpmeet. She is not just a pussy hole. She is not a cum dumpster. We are here to enhance each other. What he is telling y'all in this video, that the only thing he really values for you, the only value he has for you is pussy. That's what he's telling y'all. This is what men with money tell y'all. This is why they say we got options. You just one extra option. You another one on the roster. What value do you bring besides your box? What value do you bring besides your box? Because if that's the case, it's a million of y'all. What's the point of having a wife and she don't cook? That's the case. I got a Friday girl for that. Weird ass niggas. Y'all go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, just recently, about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was having a conversation with my brother, and he has the means to, pay someone to clean a house or pay someone to, basically he has the means. And I had asked him, I said, for you, is it about you just eating, or the fact that you want your wife to cook? And I said, because either way, the end result is the same. She's cooking it. The money is not an issue for you to buy it. And he said, I want her to cook. He said, because it is something about seeing your wife or seeing your lady take the time out to just cook for you. It has something to do with, for him, he said, how much she loves me and values me to do that. And I was like, you know what? I understand that, because it's something about me seeing my husband, like if he is going to mow the lawn as opposed to having somebody, pay somebody to do it. So I understand it, because doing those things, nobody enjoys cleaning. I mean, at least I don't. There may be some people that do. Nobody enjoys cleaning. I'm quite sure as a man, you don't enjoy mowing the lawn, but it's a necessary thing to maintain your household. And so when you see people sacrificing and doing things that they don't want to do for the sake of the house, it is a good feeling. Like it is very good. With cooking and stuff like that, that's when I say my husband gets a different person in the summer, I have to be honest. The reason is because I no longer have to worry about work. So just that stress alone has been removed from my plate. So now I am more pleasant. I am more peaceful because I don't have additional stressors. So I do agree with what he was saying, but I don't think it's to the degree of remove all barriers, remove all responsibilities as a wife, so you can be, have peace. I like cooking when I'm in that space. I love cooking for my husband. I love, serving him his plate. I love, ironing his clothes if he needs his clothes ironed at that time. I have the time to do those things, to cater to him, because I'm not competing with what I have to do in the workplace versus what I have, responsibilities coming home. So in that summer, he's laid back, he's chilling. He doesn't have to worry about anything. But then when the cycle starts again, guess what? He steps up and he assists so he can get more of that time during the time that I have to work too. So like Ricky was saying, if he's doing the dishes or something like that, I've cooked. If, laundry needs to be done, he'll do the laundry while I'm cleaning the kitchen. So is a toss up between both of us taking responsibility and sharing in the responsibility of households, so both of us can be freed up to spend more time with each other.
Yeah, I when you said about the morning but cutting the grass, I love to see a man, doing that yard work. He just don't know what's going to come after that. But it's me being from Mississippi and how I was raised, and it's so crazy. Like being on these panels really made me realize like everybody was raised like just different states. Everybody raised so differently. But as for me, when it comes to cleaning, it's just something that I just naturally did just growing up. So, back in the day, even when I was in my relationship, Saturdays was the day that you clean and don't bother that man. Let him get his peace. And so Saturdays was like that peaceful morning. You waking up, the house smell clean, you can cook and this and that. And Sunday was the family time. Sunday was family. But Saturday was your day of cleaning. Like clean up
Mommy
the house,
three.
leave that man alone, let him sleep in or whatever he want to go do. If he want to leave and go to, play and games or golf or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like Saturdays was just like a cleaning day for my household. And it still is now. So
Mommy three. Mommy three.
Wait. Hold up. We got. Let me do my job. We got AD in the building. What's up with you, guy?
I just wanted to come through and show some love, see what's up with the people. What's up? I ain't seen Miss Taken in a while. What's going on, Miss Taken?
Hey, Anton.
How y'all doing?
Good.
What's up, Shan?
Hey.
You see how Mommy three gonna get shot down there?
Oh my God.
She ain't saying nothing.
What's up, Andy? All of my friends, what's going on, y'all? I just want to come in and show some love, saying I've been watching it all morning. Y'all absolutely awesome. Ricky, dope. My dog, Hank. What up, Jay? What up, friends? I just wanted to come through and show some love and just say what up, though. How y'all feel on this Sunday?
Good, man. Get stop the bullshit, Tom. What you got on it, bro?
No, honestly, I don't think that once you make a woman's life easier, she gonna be your piece. I don't think that's true at all. I think that whatever standards that you set in the beginning, or however you train her, I know that sounds bad, but however you train her is how she's gonna operate, right? If you start out, and this is why I tell guys to stop starting off with extreme expectations that you cannot maintain, right? You're gonna start off bringing her flowers and all of this other shit, and then she's gonna be expecting for you to bring her flowers every single time that you bring. Like if you ramp it up, even when you first get together, I tell dudes all the time, stop buying an expensive fucking ring. Upgrade her as you go along. That way, you know that she's there for the right reasons and you can manage expectations. But once you put her in a specific space, I don't think that necessarily translates into her being your piece. I think it translates into more entitlement in a lot of ways. It's a lot of entitlement. They feel like they deserve it. When you hear a woman say something like, I've been here all this time and all of this other type of shit, often at times when you was broke was the time that she was the most peaceful. She was rocking with you harder when you was broke. And then when you got money, she felt entitled to start turning into a monster. Women that have a lot of times become more monstrous than the women that don't even have shit. Y'all ever seen that dude that's a piece of shit? He ain't got nothing. They stand in their mama's basement or whatever, and she loyal as fuck. Like she rock with him and all of that type of shit. Like you'd be like, damn, like you just gonna stay with a pookie your whole life until she just can't take no more and then she leave. But then on the flip side, you see that chick that feel like she entitled to everything because she got everything and she had it for a long time. It don't necessarily translate. And so I think that you have to manage expectations, but then at the same time, you have to make sure that you don't put yourself in a position to where you can't control a narrative if everything get out of hand. Sometimes you got to pull them back. Sometimes you got to put them in check, and they like being put in check. They like,
Yeah,
put in check. So.
I totally agree, Tom. I think it's about, again, most women find it difficult to step back from a standard that was set.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that once that standard is set, it becomes the expectation. It becomes what it should be from all, not just from you, right? But every man going forward, right? Yeah. So that's why you gotta, again, we got, like I said, I understand, ladies, when y'all say we gotta give y'all a space, but again, that space requires work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For you to get in that space with a man that's really about what he is, again, within his lane, right? That space requires work. It shouldn't be something that you just fall into, and then at that point you just, take all the incoming mail. It don't go like that. And again, that's why I be saying the dynamics of these relationships be messed up from the get-go.
Yeah. Yep. But you just got to set expectations, I think, a lot of times. And it doesn't mean that you got to limit her, right? Like any person that's rocking with me, and it doesn't matter who it is, anybody that's rocking with me, they enjoy all of the spoils the same as me. The problem is just that you got to manage expectations, because if you let certain things go unchecked, then it just turns into a molehill will turn into a mountain. And so I think that women will largely be peaceful, but I don't think it necessarily has to do with making her life easier at all. Not even a little bit.
I was gonna say too, kind of like what with Mommy 3, the way that I was raised, and I have to look at what Indy was saying too, is that I think the generation after us is somewhat a lost generation in terms of having a lack of direction from the men and women in their families. So not to say that they can't learn these things. That's the thing. Even though you don't have it, doesn't mean that you don't have the opportunity to learn it, because y'all have access to more information than we've ever had. Like when I was growing up, my mom, like in the household with the kids, especially with the girls, it was, we had responsibilities in a household. Like the way that our chores was set up, since it was 3 girls plus my mom, it was rotation with cooking dinner. Like when we got a certain age, each one of us had a week where we had to cook the family dinner for everybody else. I get one, the first week of the month, then my sister get the second week, third week, or whatever, the fourth week. So this way, my mom had less responsibility because she was working. So she would just get 1 week out of that month where she would cook. The rest of us, we were responsible for doing the laundry for the whole family, washing it, folding it, putting it away. My mom didn't do that. That was our responsibility as the children. They made it known, like, this is your contribution. You can't work. You know what I'm saying? You can't pay the bills. So you're going to cook, you're going to clean. And those are the things that we had to do growing up. When we got on our own, we knew how to, pay our bills, because once we got a job, it was all right. Well, this was back in the day when, you get the phone bill and it shows each call you made and how much it costs. When we got a job, we had to highlight what phone calls we made and then use our money to pay for our phone calls that we made. And that was all in preparation for us to be able to take care of ourselves when we got on our own. And then that translate into when you come into a relationship in a marriage. So yes, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing all of those things, but I respect my husband so much more because he understands that it's a lot for somebody to do on their own. And since he's living and he's helping, he does contribute and help in other ways as well. So I just think is you have to find that balance. If you don't know how to cook, learn how to cook. You got to eat. And once you begin to see how much money you get to save by not having to order out, like my husband, we were talking about getting someone to clean the house, and I'm like, no, I'd rather use that money to do other stuff.
No, baby. Get some. If you can do it, get somebody to clean the house. It'll save your back when you get older. I promise you.
It's so crazy that you said that, Miss Taken, because growing up, like, man, you couldn't even put your man food do not go on a fake plate. Like, that was disrespectful.
Listen. Once you get to a certain space in your life, it will save your back.
Yes.
Well, I'll do it at that time when I can't do it, but I'm an able-bodied person. I can do that now. I'd rather use that money to put towards the trips when we travel. I'd rather use that money to buy things that I want for the house. I can do it myself, so I'd rather do it than,
I'm not trying to tell you how to run your household. All I'm saying is that you can have both, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't need nobody to prove to me. I know who you are. I know what your character is. I can better put you to use scheduling appointments, answering emails, and taking care of business. I don't need you throwing your back out trying to prove to me that you're submissive. I know who you are. I know who the chicks are that's around me. So if I can, I'm gonna put you. It's almost like if you're a rocket scientist, why would I need you to? Why I don't need you fucking cleaning the house. Like I need you doing rocket scientist shit. And that's the thing I think that we miss in a lot of other cultures. You can be submissive and add even more value. What I see a lot of times, because I work with a lot of and I employ a lot of, let's just say Indians, for example. Those chicks make $150,000, $160,000, $170,000 a year, and they be fucking submissive as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they go home and they take care of business, and they not necessarily subjecting themselves to these chores that we place on ourselves in order to show that we submissive and stuff like that. You gotta build. And I think that once you know the character of a person, women need to be utilized. They need to be used. They have a yearning to serve and use and add value to people's life. That's the whole idea behind the help me. If you don't have to fucking throw your back out, all I'm saying is preserve your back. You don't want your discs bulging and then somebody got to carry you. Listen, you talking about now, I'm talking about when you're 60, 70, 80. Like preserve yourself if you can.
But I mean, when she's 60, 70 or whatever, like her being active, like I'm trying to understand what you're talking about, because most cases,
certain things. I know a woman, for example, that to prove to her husband that she's submissive, she still get on her knees, her hands and knees, and she mop the floor that way. It's like it's a fucking Swiffer in there. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to work harder just to prove yourself. You can work smarter and still be submissive, but it doesn't mean that you any more submissive just because you're doing dumb shit. Like preserve your knees, please.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I still feel like in most cases that still would not make a woman just completely happy. And you said in the beginning, just a piece is not going to, at least it's really not going to make the woman just extremely happy, because 9 times out of 10 in most cases, as soon as that woman feel in her heart that she's unhappy with this man, she could leave. She gonna want to leave. You can hire all the help, you can hire all the people that you want, and you can
ain't
keep
no
her
woman leaving no real dude. Hey, listen,
see, that's what I'm saying. We're talking about these women.
Mommy 3.
We're talking about regular people, not everybody.
One mic.
Let's be clear. If you was in a house with me, you not fucking going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. You gonna hold on for dear life. You gonna ride this wave. You gonna live this life, and you gonna enjoy yourself. Don't sit here and tell me that. You ain't selling me that narrative.
But not everybody has it like
that. You gonna have a good time, and you gonna enjoy yourself. You gonna get this D when I give it to you, and then you gonna go and ride off into the sunset, do a little bit of shopping, and then make sure you're adding value where I need you. You ain't doing that shit.
He's not lying, though. He's not lying.
But average dude can't afford what you're talking about, though. You know what I'm saying? Average dude can't do
that. No, it's not the same. The value is held in different places.
Yeah, I understand what he's saying. Because
hold on. Right, value is held in different places. You see what I'm saying? But again, this is where it comes to levels. You see what I'm saying? It's Anton's saying the same thing an average good dude should do, but it's just on a different level. You see what I'm saying? Like you should be like, I don't understand why people don't just accept the fact that you in somebody's life for a benefit. Right? Male or female, you're getting a benefit for being out of that person, being in that person, in a relationship with that person, for being that person in life. What is that benefit worth to you? Right? So again, I honestly believe that, again, depending on what lane you are, how you grew into that relationship is what benefit you bring to that woman or man. Anton has a certain level of money, so he has certain benefits that come with that. I make a certain level of money. I got benefits that come with that, and so forth and so on down the lines.
But see, the problem though, Ricky, is that I don't like it when people say, well, the average guy can make as much money as he wants. He got 24 hours in a day. And the problem with the average guy is they so busy trying to spend time with their chick instead of fulfilling their purpose, which would largely reward them or whatever it is that they want. You can, bro, I'm going to throw every single minute of my life into what it is that I need to be doing, which ultimately translates into me being rewarded financially. And I don't have time to be sitting up under and chasing a woman. I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy that's gonna be sitting at home all day. I'm literally at the fucking concert on a Sunday. I'm here. I'm doing what I do, bro. Like that's what I do. I work, I grind, I hustle, I get it. And when I get home, you yearn for me, and we're gonna move accordingly. And when I take a flight to go and take care of business, whatever, like I'm dedicated to me because me is being dedicated to my purpose. And then if she's dedicated to me, then she gets all of the spoils and the benefits that come along with it. I'm not.
I agree
with
you.
You can get anything you want, bro. If you can have anything in this world that you want. None of these dudes got to be average. I don't even believe in the idea. Who set the standard of 40 hours? What the fuck is 40 hours?
But Anton, you talking the same thing. But Tom Brady did the same thing. He was on his purpose. His lady's ready to leave him. He was out his purpose. He wasn't trying to stay up on that woman, and that was a problem.
Let her
he
go.
Wasn't supposed to be trying.
Let her go.
I'm just giving you an example of what you was talking about, though.
But again,
not every situation is the same.
Tom Brady is with a chick that
makes more money than him. She makes more money than him.
Exactly. Tom Brady is with a
at the same time. It wasn't about money for her. According to her, it was about time.
But she got with a man 2 months afterwards. She still was cheating. That's what I'm saying. It don't matter. She still was with somebody else. Soon she left Tom Brady, she was with somebody else.
Listen, women are supposed to date up, men date down.
And I agree with you.
Women date up, men date down. Why do you think Oprah ain't never got married?
Because it's hard for her to date up because the next level up for her is that's
Oprah
why
get married because she thinks like a man.
Look,
I think
she moves like a man. That's why she never got married.
And hold on. And how do we know? How do we know that Tom Brady ain't a fucking simp?
I mean, that could be the case.
Like just because you make a lot of money, it's simps that make a lot of money is real dudes that don't make a lot of money. If
he was a simp, he would have retired.
A trick is not necessarily true, because they said that they had these marital problems way before they even had this conversation about this anyway. It's just now coming to the light. A lame is going to be a lame whether he got money or he don't got money. The nature of who you are don't change just because you get money. It just means that you is more exaggerated. And so how do we know that this motherfucker didn't decide that he want to go play football because she told him that she was going to be out in the first place? Well, so I ain't got nothing else to do. I might as well go play some fucking football.
So why you think Tom Brady wife dated down? Why you think Tom Brady wife married?
After you finish, mommy.
Oh.
Go ahead, Mr.
I'm gonna let y'all rock out. I just wanted to stop through and show some love.
All right, bro. Thanks.
All right, see y'all.
Peace.
Kind of speaking to what Anton said, we had a conversation on Friday on She Critique where we were talking about values and things like that in terms of where you're going to give up something for something else. And it's clear that for Anton, the value for him is money, right? And not everybody values are going to fall in the same line. So you meet somebody else who values that as well and then play their position because that's the importance. What I was saying for me, and I don't know if this is for most people, but for me, I'm not saying that money doesn't matter. You need money to live, but that is not my priority for me and my family. My priority is using the money to meet the basic needs, to meet our needs that we have so we can have more time. Time is what we value. I explained before how when we had COVID, I've said this before where I thought that, we were going to die or whatever because it was that bad. Like I have asthma, so, it messes up with your lungs and your breathing. I didn't know if I was going to make it. My husband didn't know, and vice versa. I got sick trying to take care of him, then he trying to take care of me. And at that time, it didn't matter how much money we had. It didn't matter that we have insurances to take care of it. None of that mattered. All we could think about is having more time with each other. And when you're a person that works to that level, especially men, I think men place so much value in money. Like that's what we were talking about. That was what the question was in the beginning, that we place so much time and value in the money. So your husband's working all the time, you're doing all of these things, and you're sacrificing time with your family. And when you're about to die, or you're getting older, your kids are gone, like our children are gone. And all we say, we talk about, man, I wish we had did blah, blah, blah. It's about that time. So I think if we can learn it early on, that you should be working not just for the sake of having a bunch of money, but to free yourself up to give you time with your family, because that's your true investment. When you're talking about your family, that's your true investment. So whatever way you can find a way to make time to invest in your family, that's what you should do. That's just my opinion.
I think Anton, what I was going to say earlier, he hit on something. He was saying he's in his purpose. So that's why he loves what he does and devotes so much time. And his wife and everyone on his team is also behind his purpose. So everyone at the table is eating. And I think that that's why it's important for men to not value their money, but their purpose, finding their purpose. Because then whenever they find their purpose, they can offer you something as well. You can be an asset to his team. So that's why I was saying about purpose and plan. Like if a man is going to medical school and he's going to be a doctor, he should have you do something in that field. So that way, eventually you can come work for him, or you guys can teach your children something. And then it becomes a family thing. So you're getting your time and your money with your family. Like that's what other cultures do.
Can I ask the guys this question? What is a man's purpose? When you're saying purpose, because if I listen to that situation, like what you just explained, Indy, that it sounds like, I don't know if it's men or you are equating purpose to the career or to the money. And I think purpose is deeper than that. So I want to ask the guys, when they say to walk in your purpose or find your purpose, what does that mean?
I think it's something a man may not even know his purpose depending on the time of his life that you meet him. He might not even know. It may be revealed to him. He may have had other people tell him what your purpose is. You know, there are guys out here that are leaders that don't even know they're leaders. You know, there's other people observing how people react to them, how people listen. You know, I'm sure people have looked at Ricky and just gravitated toward him. Maybe he didn't always look at himself as a leader or in a leadership position, but sometimes you're just anointed that. So as men, a lot of times we don't know our purpose. I mean, I'd like to think that my purpose is media, you know, editing, creating content. I'd like to think that's my purpose. That's what I like to do. I like to make people look good on camera. I like to, you know, analyze things in a humorous way. Maybe that's that's what I feel my purpose is. That's what people have told me, but I've strayed away from it for so long that, you know, and now I'm finally coming back to it. So I think it changes based on your age, but I think a lot of other people see your purpose before you do.
Well, my purpose is right now is mentoring young kids, young adults, young adult males. That's my purpose right now. So it transitioned from being the best father I can be to my son to now transitioning to not only reach out to mentor him, but him, his friends, his loved ones, family members. So mine is mentoring young adult men.
Purpose. I don't know. I'm just being honest with y'all. I don't know. My purpose at this point in my life is to be me, to, you know, not be something everybody else want me to be or claim me to be me. Right? You could say that's leadership or information, whatever that is, right? I just want to be me. We go through, a lot of people, most people, I would say a large majority of people go through their life being somebody that everybody else wants them to be. It took me 40-something years to figure out the person I was supposed to be. My purpose is my family. My purpose is to make sure that my family's okay, to make sure I'm okay, to make sure my wife's okay. And to pass that information on to hopefully stop y'all from making the same mistakes I made. Because what we do is when we get in our ego, we rob ourselves of the relationships we should really have. And if I can pass that on to y'all so y'all don't have to go through those pitfalls, so the woman that you chose or the man that you chose can really get into loving you without having to rebuild and redo that hurt and put that hurt in a different place, I think I did my job. But I really want us as melanated people, or if you call yourself black folk, to really learn how to love each other. We don't have to go through these mistakes to realize what's real, right? Wise people learn off of the mistake of others. Right? So I just want y'all not to make the mistakes I made, get back to loving each other, and we taking it from there. Because we believe that loving each other is a trial. Right? That at the end of the day, when we finally get to this, when we could just get to that at the beginning of the journey. And at that point, it's just building foundations and bricks to support your generations down the line. I told you, I'm trying to time travel. Right? So let's play some bills and then we'll close it out.
Can I just say one more thing?
Sure, for sure. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say, like because me and my husband, we were talking about purpose not too long ago. And one of the things that we came up with is that when you truly boil it down to its essence, that purpose is about serving others. When you really try to find what your true purpose is, it's typically attached to how you're serving others. So your purpose could be your family. You're serving your family. He just said working with the youth. He's serving. You just, being on this podcast, giving your advice and giving information, you're serving. That is your purpose. So your job is something totally different, but how you use your job to serve others is really what the purpose is. And I just found that you get truer meaning. It is a deeper level of meaning when you're serving others. That's just not a female characteristic. A lot of times we put that on females, but even men serve. When they're serving in their true purpose, they're serving others. So just find out how you're serving. Use your gifts and abilities. Like when you have a job, you have certain gifts and abilities. How can those gifts and abilities serve others? And that's where your purpose is.
Gotcha. Thank you. Yes, sir. Derek Henry, $2. He said, women not like grandma, but I work harder than granddad. Okay. Seth, what's good, Mike? He said a good home cooked meal comes with a woman who puts time and love in it. He's a buster, clown. Derek Henry, a woman doesn't want another woman doing her job. Nick Taylor, I think the title should say she should be your piece, but the numbers say that's not true, much to the chagrin of many a working man. Real, what's good, boy? He said, I just got through mopping the kitchen. Facts, bro. Like, I don't get where this idea like men don't do housework. That shit, it's a lie. Y'all, women, ladies, y'all been lied to, bro. Y'all been lied to a lot, and y'all be believing these lies, bro. No, come on, man. Like, Dub Will, what's up, son? What's up with you, boy? He said, what's up, Sunday famo? Trucker Yell said, you are born looking like your parents, but will die looking like your decisions. Insane. So pissed right now. Ooh. Derek Henry said, so whose back is worthless enough to sacrifice? Damn. Okay. I think I seen another one. Hold on. Yep. PJ Austin, he said, I think a man's purpose is for him to build and create a foundation for his family to thrive and build for the future. I agree, sir. Okay, I think that's it. Y'all got anything else we want to cover? If not, we can get on out of here. Yeah. No?
Nah, it was a good show, man.
All right, well, let's do this. Let them know where you... Hold on, Black. Y'all keep sending money. Black Lexicon. He said, my purpose is to add value to a mate, society, my culture, and the economy for a spiritual, cultural, and monetary reward. It's supposed to come back to you, right? Okay, man, let's get out of here, man. Great show by everybody. Let them know where they can find you at, Shantae.
A She Critique, Friday nights on Lapeef JR, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I'm trying to get one of them sweaters for real, though. Don't forget.
Okay. Okay.
All right, make sure y'all check out Shantae on She Critique.
It's actually Shantae, but Shan Monet.
Sorry, was it Shantae?
Okay.
Shantae. I'll just say Tay. Is that cool? Make sure y'all check
cool.
Tay.
No, that's my husband's nickname. Nope.
Or Shan, just say Shan.
Dang, y'all. Come on, dang. No, I'm just playing. All right, Shan, thanks so much for showing Miss Taken. Let them know where they can find you at, please.
I'm on She Critique as well, and my IG is I am mistaken.
All right. Thanks so much. Simply Indy. Let them know where they can find you at, sis.
On IG, and then after 2023, I will be active on TikTok, and it's the same name as this right here, Simply Indy1. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your time today. And Mommy 3 Loves.
Well, you can find me, Mama 3 Loves, on TikTok and IG. That's it for right now.
All right. Jay, let them know what's up, bro.
Yeah, I can find me here on Lapeef Sundays and also on Instagram, _got a story.
All right. And last but not least, the incomparable Hink.
Man, you can find me on here on Lapeef Sunday, but you can also especially find me in the basement, baby. Look for me up on IG as well as Facebook.
Man. Again, shout out to the illustrious panel. Oh, Lord. I don't know what's going on with this thing, man. I'm so sick of this. Like StreamYard, your mama, bro. StreamYard, your mama. You know what I'm saying? But hey, make sure y'all check me out. Y'all know where we at. We be my channel is Ricky Williams #TWT here on YouTube. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I have Truck Chronicles. I talk a lot about boxing. We talk about life too, but you got to make it through the boxing first. Y'all know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all subscribe to Ricky Williams #TWT. I am on King Talk on Tuesdays. I will be with Hink on The Basement. You know what I'm saying? Wednesday nights. Also on Wednesday nights, I'm on Cruise Seasons. Friday, I do have a show here on Lapeef Let's Talk, or Lapeef JR, the Lapeef Network. Lapeef Network Friday. Did you hear what I said? And I'm all over this place. Again, shout out to the creators. Shout out to the content creators here. Make sure y'all subscribe to everybody, man. It don't hurt to hit a like button. You know what I'm saying? And subscribe. If that subscribe button is red, you got a problem with all of us on this panel, Joe. Get it together. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure y'all support the creators, support the Lapeef Network. And until then, y'all be safe out here. Y'all have a great week. Love those who love you. Take care of yourself and your family. And I guarantee everything else will take care of itself. And we go.